Caps don't have a shot on net. Driving to the net. Hyman peering inside. Off the boards. Ekholm showing one-timer. Bouchard from distance. Hyman. Tip in front.
This is how you ground and pound a team that's played 3 and 4 nights. Get to work in the corner. Don't let them come out. Couple second efforts that were great. Zach Hyman finally digs this puck loose after some work by McDavid. Going to work, getting double team. And like we talked about, get some traffic in front and hit the net. Good things happen. And that's exactly what Evan Bouchard does. Zips this one right up over top.
His stick was there. It might have taken away the eyes of Lindgren a bit. Sent in deep by the Oilers. Rewarded for that pressure. They break through and take the 1-0 lead. Wilson. Santina shot. Steve Ingram rebound. Score. And the Caps tie it. The towering Protas with the equalizer.
2 shots maybe if they count the first one. Transitional play here by the Capital zone. It's just good passing. This one here fended off by Ingram, but the rebound, I believe, hits Sordoff, who's the one that starts this off in the neutral zone. It actually hits Protas, I think, stops dead, and Sordoff puts it home on the rebound. Great first save with the blocker. It's the trailer. 3 guys a little deep on this 3-on-3.
Meanwhile, that goal by Protas, Louis, his 18th, showing you how Washington struggled on the power play. He doesn't have a power play goal all year. It's got 18. Only Eichel has more without a power play goal. He has 19 for Vegas. Shot by Bouchard, score!
And, you know, they got life off a penalty kill in the first period to start things off for Edmonton. Here's the Ovechkin shot. Actually, he got a little more than I thought on that one. From my angle, I thought it just went off the tip of the blade. He looked down at it afterwards. Great pass by Draisaitl. Little fake by Bouchard. Look at Hyman in front, though. Get inside, Dowd in front of the net. Get into the eyes of the goaltender. And a wrister like that, not picked up clean. He tried to throw back his glove.
Around McMichael. Circling through Van Riemsdyk. Power play over. Shot. Just wide of Lindgren from Samoy. As Louis talked about, has been feeling it. And now you've got Sordoff the other way for the Caps. Pulls up, shoots, and scores. Justin Sordoff stays high. That's his 8th goal in his last 11 games, and we're tied at 2.
And the goal. As Sordoff gets this puck, he wins a battle for Savoy. He just blows a wheel, leads to an outnumbered rush, and he just zips the short side. Fakes the pass, a right-handed shot coming down the left-hand side. Looks to the middle first, doesn't sell shot, and then that quick release up over top of the
inside Mangiapane's shot. That's deflected wild. Ethan Frank, the outlet pass on target for John Carlson. Villiers shoots and scores. He fooled Ingram, beat him 5-hole, and Washington its first lead of the night at 3-2.
And over this blue line again. He's going to get this puck as he goes wide, and he just has a little bit of time to kind of corral it and just kind of throws it towards the net. I don't know if he's looking for a rebound here or if he's looking for something different. This one just goes underneath the pad, and for Connor Ingram, we're going to see Tristan Jarry go in the net here, Jack, for the Edmonton Oilers. So not his night. That's one he's certainly...
Under control to McDavid. Back inside. Draisaitl, a shot save. Rebound available. Deflected out of play.
Yeah, some great chances on the power play.
And force Edmonton to reload. Ekholm to Draisaitl. Bobbled the puck. Got it through Carlson. Dishes off to an on-rushing McDavid. And now Bouchard stepping into one. Wrist shot, score! Hat-trick! Evan Bouchard! The first by an Oiler defenseman in 20 years. We're tied.
Hat-trick in the second period on the power play especially. He has been firing the puck. Good entry into the zone by McDavid off the stick of Draisaitl, and when you give Evan Bouchard, he tests the glove. A right-handed catcher, we've talked about it. For a right-handed shooter, he says, yep, I'll test it. And boy, does he ever beat it on this one with the wrister. Bar in, 3-3, and there's lengthy 4-on-4 here for 1:30 as well. So Edmonton will continue to go with the top 4 that they like to roll out 4-on-4 and look to try and maybe gain the lead back again before...
Hard pass across to Wilson. Strome. Chikrin gives it back to him. Shot. Score! Not sure Jari ever saw it. Washington regains the lead. 4-3.
I mean, this is a real tough save for Tristan Jari, but he stops. Once he gets this puck back, he sees all the flyby, and he just gets it by everybody. Quick release, flexes the stick, zings it in there. He knows it looks like it changes direction maybe a little bit. Somehow we'll get a little different view here from this one. Yeah, it's just a zinger. I mean, he just threads that through. And once that gets through, it becomes really dangerous. 4-3 Capitals.
And that's guided wide. McDavid out to Bouchard. He'll get it back. Around down, shoots, scores. Tied again. And that's number 392 for McDavid.
Bouchard, and it's this little backhand pass into McDavid. Then he takes the middle, and once he gets possession around the net, he's always a threat to let that shot go, and he just picks his spot. You know, this isn't one that's high or low. This is one of those ones that just gets through under the glove, over the pad. Pretty tough to pick this up from that tight, but McDavid wisely.
Carlson, as the power play set to expire, to sort of loads up. Carlson calling for it. Snapshot, glove save. Rebound underneath Stastny. And a chance for Michael. 2-3 wins. And it's in. Connor McMichael stays with it. And it's 5-4 Washington.
Again, Jari makes the initial save, but this puck kind of sits around in there. Here's Carlson to look at the bodies, and this goes through. It actually doesn't get there on the first one. And it's McMichael that digs it out, just keeps jamming away on the forehand side. Darnell Nurse is down on the ice. He's just trying to get a shin pad or something on this puck as he blocks the first one, wants to stay with it. But Connor McMichael stays with it 1, 2, 3 times the charm as he jams the third one home. Eventually, past the sprawled Jari, 5-4 now. 40.
Draisaitl! One-timer, Bouchard save. Lindgren rebound comes off. Nugent Hopkins, Bouchard. McDavid in front. Score! We're tied. 5-0.
Edmonton just would not be denied. A great keep-in again by Bouchard in this sequence as well. There's one great save on a one-timer by Lindgren, but Edmonton just kept coming up with the puck, and eventually this one here in tight. I don't know who it goes off, but it's Hyman in front. Crane, the distraction, gets his paddle down, and this one finds its way across the line as he shovels it home. I believe he gets it, yeah, right off the heel of the stick. I mean, that is...
Bouchard up top. McDavid nearly turned it over. Protas gave it away in front. McDavid to win it. Save Lindgren. Rebound not out. Chikrin with a steal. And now up the gut. Protas. He's got a man with him. He tried to swing it across to Chikrin. Bouchard was tripped. Penalty incoming. McDavid a breakaway to win it. He does. Edmonton 6.
A face-off win by Draisaitl, possession. And this is a great pass again. Bouchard into McDavid, just can't finish it off. Look at that glove by Lindgren again. A right-handed catcher comes up big on that one. And then this knockdown by Bouchard, what a game for him. 5-point night, sets up McDavid in the breakaway again. Stick handle in a phone booth upstairs on the backhand side. What a finish in this one. Didn't start off like this, Jack, I'll tell you that. But did it build momentum as this game went on? And you give McDavid this many chances. First goal in a while for him, and it's a big one in overtime. 2 of them tonight. Passive there, right?
Win it. He does.
23rd on the penalty kill. Granlund with Killorn and Seneca. Beckett Seneca should have been on Team Canada's World Junior team last year.
forward to?
Yeah, it's obviously awesome. Very excited to get things started and just experience my first game.
What can you say about the season that you're having down in Bakersfield, and what's impressed you about your game?
Yeah, I think obviously getting to North America again for the first time. A little bit of a learning curve, but I think from staff to players, we did a good job, helping me adjust, and I just felt really comfortable from the get-go, and so I think I improved my.
You played really well. We were all talking about you. You stood out a little bit. Were you expecting to get to this point this year?
I don't know if I would call it expecting, but obviously that's why you come over. You want to get a chance, and so I'm very happy that I can get the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to showcase my skills.
What do you think you've worked on the most over the past, say, couple of seasons that has put you over the top a little bit?
We had a good thing going in Straubing back where I played in the DL, where the summers we had a lot of ice time, skills coach and everything. So just skating, I think, but also ever since I came here, we just I've been working on face-offs a lot after practices with all the guys back in Baco. So helped me improve a lot in that area as well.
Josh, in your first NHL game, what's your kind of mindset in terms of what you want to bring to this team tonight?
I think, same energy as I would in Baco. Yeah, obviously, you have great players here, so I'm gonna be excited to, step on the ice and bring the energy.
You're going to the Olympics. Obviously, you'll be playing with Leon. What does it mean to you to have a chance to play on the, be on the ice with him here tonight?
Yeah, it's amazing. Obviously, he's a big part of the German hockey, and what he's done here is amazing. So really looking forward to it. Very happy that I got to see him before the Olympics.
Did you have a chance to talk to him, and if so, did he give you a little bit of advice or just welcome to Edmonton?
Yeah, I mean, he sent me a text yesterday. Obviously, I was so excited. So got a chance to talk to him a little bit here as well before pregame skate. But I don't think I need to welcome to Edmonton. I've been here before a couple of times, so just excited to get things going.
Josh, what a special day for you. Maybe take us through the thoughts and emotions since finding out you were getting called up to Edmonton and now ahead of your NHL debut.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Obviously, really short turnaround. So, no, I don't know how to describe it, to be honest.
Well, take it all in. Where do you feel like your game has progressed the most down in Bakersfield this year?
I think just my two-way game, obviously, committing to playing D-zone, and so we've worked on it a lot, and so, I'm happy it worked out.
Your teammates with Draisaitl tonight. You'll be teammates again with them next month in Italy. Can you maybe talk about how much he's helped you out in your first pro season in North America?
Yeah, he helped me out a lot, obviously. Just reaching out to me and stuff like that, little things. Me being able to talk to him and ask for tips. So, very happy to have him here. Obviously, player of his stature, he doesn't have to do stuff like that, but he does, so it's amazing.
Well, be great, 81, and welcome to the NHL.
Thank you.
Against an Anaheim team that, they were outshot at one point last night, 20-3 in Calgary, but they found a way to win. So you are going to get chances against Anaheim. They're missing three really good three young players in their lineup. They're missing their top two centermen. The Oilers got to come out and push the pace early. The one way you beat them is by getting the Ducks to play in their own zone. They are a much better team, more structured than they have been in the past, but this still is not a defensive juggernaut, as you just alluded to. That's how the Oilers get to them.
Well, Rob, let's just take a look at another couple things here. For Edmonton, push the pace. The Oilers have a different look in their third line. Josh Szymanski, and he can skate, but he's been a very strong two-way performer to the point that he's leading Bayko in 5-on-5 points.
Well, I think, first of all, it's 10 games, I believe, till the trade deadline. What do you have? Before you know what you need to go get, you got to find out what you have in your own cupboard. I think we saw some flashes of brilliance from the third line that the Oilers have been with Roslovic, Howard, and Savoy, but we also saw some defensive deficiencies, and it was a small line. And you're forcing Roslovic to be the centerman on that line. I think all of those things are not sustainable when you play against big teams in the playoffs. So they bring in Szymanski, who's 6'3", and is a real centerman. And that allows Roslovic to move back to the wing. So I like the look of this line better on paper, but Szymanski's got to come out and do it in a hockey game, and he gets his opportunity. This is what it's supposed to be, though. When you play well in the minors, you're supposed to get a chance to show your wares in the National Hockey League. I think it's a good opportunity for the kid.
And you mentioned the fact tonight it's Philly Husso. Lucas Dostal, since January the 11th, so over the last 15 days, is 6-0 with a 1.93 goals against average and a 931 save percentage. So he has 6 of the 7 wins. That might reveal a bit right there, doesn't it?
Well, it does. He's a good goalie. Well, the thing with Anaheim, they have not had average goaltending this year. It's been great or it's been awful. And against the Oilers, if it's awful, then you're in for a long, long night. The Edmonton Oilers tonight put everything on net. And the one thing, now I haven't seen Anaheim play this year, but looking at their lineup, they look like they might be prone to take penalties. And you cannot take penalties against an Edmonton Oilers team and expect to win. So tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, get involved physically and win races and battles. Force the Anaheim Ducks to take penalties and get your power play on the ice.
There you go. That's third Inside the Game analyst Rob Brown. More with Rob and Brendan during the course of tonight's game at Aiden Gannam. Jack Michaels will have the call up next. Rob Brown bringing you the Ford keys to the game, brought to you by Ford. Ready, set, Ford. The Ducks are in town to take on the Oilers live at Rogers Place on Ford Dealers NHL Hockey when we return on the Oilers Radio Network.
To the fans who bleed orange and blue, never miss a game, and are always on the edge of their seat. Show your passion for the Oilers and cheer on the team at Molson Oilers Game Day Live. Attend throughout the season for your chance to win 2026-27 Edmonton Oilers season seats. Be there for the next Game Day Live event on January 29th at Fargo's on 50th. For the full event schedule and to RSVP to the Ultimate Oilers Watch Party, visit OilersGameDayLive.com.
Zach from EPCOR here. When winter rolls in, my family's outside skating, tobogganing, and enjoying the season. But stormwater ponds aren't the place. These ponds protect our neighborhoods from flooding year-round, Even in winter, the water keeps moving under the surface, making the ice unpredictable and unsafe. Edmonton has safe spots to skate and sled, like my favorite, the Rundle Park Iceway in Toboggan Hills. Stay back, stay off, stay safe. A note from your neighbors at EPCOR.
It's a new era for Ford in Edmonton. Welcome to Big West Ford. Located westbound on Stony Plain Road just east of the Henday, Big West Ford is Edmonton's newest and most exciting Ford dealership. Whether you're after the legendary F-150, the Powerhouse 350 Super Duty, or the adventurous Bronco, they've got you covered with exceptional selection and service right here in your city. Big West Ford, driven by you. Visit Big West Ford at 18208 Stony Plain Road or online at bigwestford.com. As the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers, MIC ensures precision in every shot. And if you need medical imaging attention, you can count on MIC to get you back in the game. Whether it's a classic wrist shot, that is, X-ray, soft tissue scan, or advanced imaging, MIC provides timely and expert diagnosis. So go where the pros go and book an appointment at any of their 15 convenient Edmonton and area locations. Learn more at mic.ca.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast.
Shoots and scores! But now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid for the hat trick. He scores!
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes!
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
Well, it's Fresh Meat Week at Rogers Place as the Edmonton Oilers get a look at the Anaheim Ducks and the San Jose Sharks on Thursday for the first time all season long. Tonight it's Anaheim, and Edmonton will dress Tristan Jarry in goal tonight as part of our Coventry home starting lineup. And then you've got Evan Bouchard coming off a 6-point game and Matthias Ekholm on defense. Opening line centered by Leon Draisaitl, who maybe had the quietest 3 assists in the history of the game the other night. Kasperi Kapanen back in the lineup after another stint on the sidelines, and Vasily Podkolzin were underway. That starting lineup brought to you by Coventry Homes, building a championship club one brick at a time. Coventry, the preferred builder of the Edmonton Oilers, who are dressed in the blue and orange. A lot of orange on the ice tonight with the Ducks in their orange pants and the white jerseys. And it's Anaheim having won 7 in a row, starting up ice with Jackson Lacombe up the right-hand side. A wrist shot and a save made on the dangerous rookie Beckett Seneca, who had a hat trick last night in Anaheim's come from behind 4-3 overtime win over Calgary. The Ducks trailed in that game 2-0 and 3-2, rallying to win despite being outshot by a 2-1 margin much of the night. Cutter Gauthier dumps it in for the Ducks. He's their leading scorer. Anaheim missing 3 key pieces tonight as Edmonton takes an icing call. We are high atop Rogers Place in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Edmonton and Anaheim, second place on the line tonight. Bob, a Ducks win, which would be their 8th in a row, puts them in front of the Oilers in the standings.
Well, Edmonton can't put together a 3-game winning streak, and the Ducks have had some wild streaks, to say the least.
2 wins in 15 games, including a 9-game slide prior to this 7-game winning streak. Chopped down deep by Pavel Minchikov, and now the Oilers dig it off the half wall. Nugent Hopkins sends it back over to Jake Woolman. Nugent Hopkins playing with McDavid and Hyman. As per usual tonight, McDavid 2 goals, 3 assists in the come-from-behind win over Washington, 6-5 in overtime that Edmonton registered on Saturday night. It's the 4th game in a row the Oilers are playing a team that was in Calgary the night before. Anaheim 4-2-1 on the second of a back-to-back this year. Chris Kreider sends it in deep for Anaheim. He's been a veteran presence for the Ducks and a productive player after 13 years at the world's most famous arena playing for the New York Rangers. A dump in, Tristan Jarry handles up the middle and now quickly advanced through by Josh Szymanski, making his NHL debut tonight. Szymanski finishes his check as the Ducks do manage to clear the zone. Josh Szymanski, 3 years, well actually 4, playing in the DEL, a 2-time World Junior player for Germany, and he's heading to the Olympics next month. Eluding a check is Radko Gudas. He was hooked to the ice, and he's drawn a penalty. And Anaheim will go to the power play. The Ducks take a lot of penalties, but here they draw one. As Gudas drew it as he was coming out of the zone. So with the delayed penalty, Anaheim dressing 11-7 tonight. Rookie defenseman Ian Moore will carry it in from the left-hand side. Zellweger plays it down low, and as it's touched up by Spencer Stastny, we'll have the first power play of the game at 2:39 of the first period. And it's the Ducks, who've been struggling on the power play, who will get the opportunity. 2 for their last 20. And it's Jack Roslovic heading to the box.
Can't take that penalty in the O's or when you're in your offensive zone on Radko Gudas. He isn't going to beat you. 26th in the league in the power play at 16.7% for the Ducks. And the penalty kill, they just showed it on the clock here. Not everybody liked it on the board. Oilers penalty kills 10th in the league at 80.8. Edmonton 4th in the league in faceoffs at 52.4. Ducks are 29th at 49%.
So advantageous matchup for Curtis Lazar, and he wins it cleanly right on cue against Cutter Gauthier, and that's ripped up the left-hand side and out by Matthias Janmark. Bob mentioned the ranking for the year, which is as high as it's been since mid-November, and that's because the penalty kill has been at 90% for the last month. 35 for 39 over a 16-game period. Ducks work it in. Their leading goal scorer on the power play this year is Kreider with 7. Jackson Lacombe will move it to the wing, and Seneca. He centers a one-timer to save Tristan Jarry, and a good shot. Gauthier was the trigger man from the right circle. Bouchard came up with a rebound, did not get it out. Quickly one touch to Kreider. He'll give it up. Shot, Granlund scores. And Anaheim has struck on the power play in the first 3.5 minutes. Mikael Granlund at 3:24 of the opening period. The Ducks take a 1-0 lead.
Well, that's a completely unforced error there. And again, I know the fans didn't like the call, but he cleaved him to the ice, did Roslovic. And basically, they beat the Oilers' trap there. And Granlund, who signed that 3-year deal at $7 million after 2 pretty good seasons last couple of years, kind of rejuvenated his career after he had some bumpy miles in Pittsburgh. Ripped that one home, and the Oilers are chasing early.
66 points, to your point, Bob, was his highest total since 2018. And that was last year, and he's been the same kind of guy this year. That's his 10th goal of the season. A productive secondary scorer for the Anaheim Ducks. Another veteran presence along with Kreider to give this team a little bit more semblance of structure along with their head coach, Joel Quenneville, assisted ably by one-time Oiler head coach Jay Woodcroft, who's been in charge of resuscitating what has been a terrible power play for years. Draisaitl in from the right-hand side. He's out there with McDavid 5-on-5, missed with a backhander, then receives a pass, right circle, gets it back from Wallman, and shot it off the outside of the net. Draisaitl, the 5th leading scorer in the league, taken off the puck and a clear by Ross Johnston back through center and shot in by Tim Washy, a rookie out of the University of Western Michigan, where he won the NCAA title last year. Western Michigan Broncos. Here's Darnell Nurse up the right-hand side. McDavid might have gotten away with holding the stick there. The Ducks cleared the puck anyways. And now moving up the left-hand side is Ryan Poehling. Here's a dish and a right circle attempt and a hard shot up near the clavicle handled by Jari. That was Owen Zellweger who really stepped into one. Owen Zellweger again, this time from the left circle. And that one Jari had a clean look at and was able to make the save. But Anaheim has come out here, and we often see this on the second of a back-to-back. The team that played the night before has their legs going. And in the first 4.5 minutes, Anaheim has outshot Edmonton 5-0 and taken the 1-0 lead on Mikael Granlund's 10th of the year.
It's a bad penalty. That led to it. See how the Oilers respond.
And as you know, Bob, I mean, the chop on the hands is almost automatic these days. Once you get it into the hands, everything else after that is almost academic. Off the draw, Seneca pursuing. The rookie out of the Oshawa Generals made the team out of training camp, and he didn't have a great rookie camp. But he right now leads all NHL rookies with 18 goals. Nugent Hopkins wires one high and wide as he came over the line. Pouring down the slot, here's Bouchard. Down low in the corner for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Back to Bouchard, loads up. One-timer healed wide by Matthias Ekholm from the right circle. Taken by Kasperi Kapanen. Sprained knee last week, shot by Ekholm, redirected wide. Protecting the far net is Ville Husso, who's making just his 3rd start in 6 weeks for the Anaheim Ducks. Trying to tuck it inside was Podkolzin. That did not pan it out. And the Ducks will reverse behind their own net for Radko Gudas. Husso in his last start beat LA. Faced just 18 shots in doing so. For the year, he's 6-4-1 with a save percentage of .888. Here comes Kreider, a shot off the rush right circle, and then he plows in to Tristan Jarry. Now, was he ushered in? I think he's getting sent off here for goaltender interference. I didn't see him ridden into Jarry at all. That's an old-school play by Chris Kreider, but after an outstanding start, he's put his team shorthanded, or excuse me, was that Harkins? Sorry, Harkins will go to the box. My apologies. And he just went unabated into Tristan Jarry. Inexplicable play from Harkins.
Well, you thought it might be Kreider because he is a player that tries.
He was known for that.
Right, got Carey Price upset one time. So the Oilers' power play is number 1 in the NHL. And it had gone on an 0-for-10 run at home, Jack, before they got a very important goal in the game against Washington. Oilers' power play 31.8%. And Anaheim PK at 77.6.
Now, they've been better lately, 86% over their last 11 games, and they're tied for the league lead in shorthanded goals. Draisaitl will have to await another puck drop. Our referees tonight, Brandon Blandina and Bob's favorite Garrett Rank, linesman Devin Berg and Travis Goldritz. And now with Draisaitl chased out, it'll be McDavid taking the draw and winning it against Poehling. Up top for Evan Bouchard. Here's Nugent Hopkins down low for Zach Hyman. Whiffed. Hyman scored the game-tying goal with 31 seconds left on Saturday against Washington. But here, his miscue allows the Ducks to clear length of the ice. And to Bob's point, Edmonton's power play are rather tepid, at least by its standards. 3 for 18 over the last 6. Nugent Hopkins made a great play to keep it in on the half wall, but now Killorn's going to bring it out, and the Ducks might have some numbers here. Killorn tried to move it across, and that was deflected away. He was looking for Trouba, and now he's got him right circle. A wrist shot save, and then Killorn dangerously looking for a shorthanded chance. We just told you about the Ducks' 7 shorthanded goals, and now they're stick handling through the neutral zone, giving some ground, and finally Washi will dump it in from center. But Edmonton, I think, played Alphonse and Gaston with who was going to pick up Trouba.
100%. Little I got it, you got it routine.
Here's Draisaitl bringing it in from the right-hand side. It's a Atco Energy power play and a steal by Zellweger. He'll take it up ice on his backhand. Pulls up, snaps it just wide. Ducks took 3 of 4 from the Oilers last year. Edmonton had won 10 of the prior 11. So Anaheim thinks they can beat Edmonton. Draisaitl from McDavid. Woolman clubs one on net and a glove save made by Ville Husso, whom we last saw at his absolute best in the 21-22 campaign for St. Louis. But it's been a while, Bob. He's been in the minors a couple years since.
Detroit signed him, didn't work out. Ended up in Anaheim and in the minors in San Diego. Roslovic's first shift's taking the penalty. Oilers' second power play unit on the ice with 35 seconds left. Oilers outshot 7-1 here. First 7 minutes of this game, Jack.
Roslovic wins the draw against Paling. Ekholm delivers a pass and gets it back from Nurse. Across ice, a one-timer Wallman, and that ended up out of play. And the faceoff will be to the left side of goaltender Ville Husso. He won 25 games in St. Louis that year. Went into the postseason as the starter. The Blues gave the Colorado Avalanche all they wanted, eventually lost in 6 games. Off the draw, battled for, controlled by Podkolzin, a drive by Ekholm. And that puck ended up on the plexi on a deflection. Killorn did not get it out, given new life. Here's Roslovic left circle against Trouba. Up top for Wallman. Roslovic down low. Waiting is Kapanen. Podkolzin's in the slot. Ekholm in the right circle. One touch back to Wallman. Across, a quick shot taken by Roslovic was blocked. The power play is over. Ducks are back at full strength. They've scored on the power play and nearly scored shorthanded. Now a sharp angle chance. And that was fought off by Husso as Kapanen thought, why not? In the corner, the Ducks fork it loose. A big hit on Minchikov by Vasily Podkolzin, and then he staples Harkins against the boards as well. Minchikov with the puck on the left side for Anaheim, and he'll bust it out up the right-hand side. That went off the boards, sails wide of the net, and an unforced error by the Ducks, and an icing call whistled against the visiting Anaheim Ducks at 28-21-3. Edmonton 26-19-8. Two teams separated by 1 point in the standings, meaning a Ducks win in regulation, and Edmonton slides to third in the Pacific. But on the other hand, thanks to Ottawa's 7-1 battering of Vegas yesterday, Edmonton can be tied for the division lead with a win tonight.
Must have been a heck of a party that Mitch Marner and the Golden Knights had after they took care of business in Toronto. Had a little event after. That happens. They were emotionally keyed up for that game in TO.
Frederick wins the face-off. Lazar going to work. Janmark rounds out this fourth line tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Here's Lazar behind the net. Janmark tried to twist it in front for Frederick. Lunging is Emberson. A shot on net. Dropped by Husso. Rebound Paling. And he'll send it up the left-hand side. Ryan Paling coming off a career year last year in Philadelphia with 12 goals and 31 points. I think he's another quiet kind of veteran presence. This is not an Anaheim club that doesn't know how to play anymore, Bob. There's more structure. They've added the right mix of veterans, and that's why they're at least a contender this year. I'm not saying they're a playoff team, but they have a shot. Ducks forechecking as the Oilers a little loose of the puck in their own zone. Here's Zellweger with a shot whistled into the waiting glove of Tristan Jarry, and Edmonton has not been sharp here in the first 9 minutes. The Ducks have an 8-3 edge on the shot clock, and they've got a 1-0 advantage on the scoreboard thanks to Mikhail Granlund's 10th of the year from Kreider and Gauthier on the power play. We return in just a moment with more live first period play-by-play for Dealers NHL Hockey from Rogers Place, the Oilers Radio Network.
Sportsnet Plus is your ultimate destination for Oilers games. Stream more matchups than anywhere else. Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $29.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts.
Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $29.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
9 minutes gone by, first period. Anaheim 1, Edmonton no score. This is Game 5 at a 8-game homestand for the Edmonton Oilers, their longest since 1982. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you. High atop Rogers Place, Rob Brown, Brendan Escott round out your Oilers Radio Network broadcast team with 880 Ched, your flagship home. And here's Granlund, the man with the game's only goal. Going to work for Anaheim off the draw in the offensive zone. A shot by Jackson Lacombe is blocked. And Hyman will take off with McDavid to create a 3-on-2. McDavid over the line left to right. He feeds Ekholm outside the left circle. And the Ducks are able to get back and play it reasonably well. Chipped up the left-hand side. Tapped by Killorn inside the Oiler blue line. And already, Bob, again, maybe I'm just looking at it and I know who's on the bench, but Anaheim looks like a more disciplined team. Shot by Bouchard into a crowd. That was blocked and nudged back outside the blue line, hammered in by Ekholm. Meanwhile, Cole's notes of what we've seen here in the first 10 minutes.
Oilers have had a poor start. They're not much going on their power play. Ducks capitalize on theirs. And the Oilers are maybe lucky it's only 1-0 for Anaheim right now.
Paling jammed it in, carried out by Nurse from center ice. He'll shoot it in, taken by Minchikov. Worked it up the right-hand side, not out of the zone. Scooted down low by Podkolzin. He'll charge hard after it, but it's an easy clear by the Ducks. Did they get a touch on it? They did. Jeff Viel, mostly a minor leaguer for his career, gets it in deep. He's played big minutes for Anaheim and valuable minutes. They'll use Viel and Johnston in late-game situations. Here's Podkolzin twisting back to Leon Draisaitl. Shadowed by Ryan Strome, an ex-Oiler. Played 100 games here. Podkolzin had it taken off his stick, but it's held in at the point by Nurse. Quickly played by Zellweger to the middle. And Radko Gudas has kind of redefined himself in the second half of his career as a leader. Will jam it in deep for the Ducks. Behind the net, long toss out to Kasperi Kapanen. Off balance, got it to Matt Savoy. He'll dump it in, but the Ducks again able to take possession immediately. Spilled in by Kreider toward the net. Tristan Jarry will leave it for Spencer Stastny. Dashing down the left-hand side, Josh Szymanski. His first game in the National Hockey League, 28 points in 39 games down in Bakersfield. And heading to the Olympics to represent Team Germany with a certain number 29, who's his teammate tonight in blue and orange. Szymanski, a hard hit. He thrust Hellison off balance, but it's Ian Moore able to work it back through center. A lot of first and second year guys on Anaheim's defense. Not many guys have played 2 full seasons on the Anaheim defense. That's why having a guy like Trouba has given them some steadiness back there. They've got a lot of talent, but not a lot of experience. Driving in right-hand side is Frederick. That's bumped off his stick.
Oilers aren't getting any pucks deep, Jack. So they can't. There's
another steal by Jackson Lacombe. Dangling to his left. Lacombe takes it hard in the net. I've also been impressed with the pace that Anaheim has played at, considering it's the second of a back-to-back. Here's a chance for Lazar. Drop pass, rich shot, a hard one by Frederick, and he was robbed by Billy Husso. That's Frederick's best-looking shot on goal in probably a couple of weeks. That was a good chance and a good shot. Husso played it well. Dump and chase by Seneca the other way. Granlund can't keep it trapped in the offensive zone. And here comes Janmark and Frederick again. But a good read at the blue line by Minchikov. Seneca the other way. It's an onrush and Killorn back in front. And that was tacked over the net by Mikhail Granlund. But again, Anaheim finding some creases in the Edmonton defense. We'll come back. The Ducks will have an offensive zone draw with a 1-0 lead on the strength of a power play goal by Mikhail Granlund. The battle for second place in the Pacific tonight from Rogers Place. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
In OilCountry, winning on the ice goes hand in hand with winning off the ice. With the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50 presented by Rogers, winning can mean both a life changed and a life saved. Because every ticket purchase helps more kids, more families, and more communities in need than ever before. And with the largest jackpots in all of sports, you could become Alberta's next millionaire. Get your tickets right now at EdmontonOilers.com, because when you play, all of OilCountry wins.
AGLC license number 744517.
During every Oilers game day, the Canadian Brewhouse is your hockey headquarters. Cheer on the blue and orange, surrounded by fans as passionate as you are, while sipping $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. And that's not all. Every game day, you can enter to win Oilers home game tickets. So grab your crew, grab a seat, and make the Canadian Brewhouse your go-to spot this hockey season. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding.
So the All-Star game. When it gets back to the real games, not much changes. Kachuk and
Kobe Bryant tragically passed away yesterday. I don't know if you ever got to meet him or were a fan or anything. Just some thoughts there.
No, I never got to meet him, but I remember going to my first year in the NHL was his last year in the NBA, and I was in Bakersfield rehabbing my shoulder, and we drove down and saw a game, and it was pretty special to see a game in his final year as an NBA player, and obviously he's done so much for that sport and for that league, and it's obviously a huge tragedy. I mean, there's not much else to say. I mean, it's so sad, and obviously thinking about his family and everyone affected, and yeah.
Year, and here's Mikhail Granlund rushing in from the right-hand side. Terry is at a point per game, Bob, and he looked like he was kind of falling into a secondary role with this team. So the Ducks have had a lot of good offensive years, and now they'll have to play defense. Hyman streaks in against Minchikov, who forced him out wide and ushered that shot against the end boards. Nugent Hopkins and McDavid follow up. And now Hyman protecting behind the net, curled it out in front, no one home. And Beckett Seneca will pick it up for the Ducks. Junior numbers improved year by year. Not many had him in the NHL this year. They're going to wave off icing at the last instant.
Should have been on Team Canada last year, but Canada Galaxy bringing themselves, as they often do in the World Juniors.
Here's McDavid bringing it in left to right. Over the blue line, tossing over to Darnell Nurse. And now a hit on Nugent Hopkins in the corner. Ducks grapple for puck possession. Nugent Hopkins was able to wrestle it away from Lacombe. Now Hyman burrowing in, put it back behind the net. That went between the wickets of McDavid. And remember, McDavid's first 30 minutes against Washington on Saturday exceptionally quiet, finished with 5 points. Over the line, a wrist shot, hard one wide, taken by Gauthier. Boy, does he have a shot, Bob. It doesn't need much time to get it off. Here's a blast by Trouba, and Jari was down and out and managed to get it with his right elbow. I did not see the contact. Bouchard screaming for a call, and Jari shaken up.
Jari's hurt.
I don't think Jari's, unless that's a skate blade, might be a skate blade. It's Jeff Lang coming over to look
It's a skate blade.
at Tristan Jari, so he's not hurt. There was no movement from Connor Ingram.
Well, thankfully for Edmonton, that puck didn't end up in the net.
So we'll take a break. 5.5 to play in the first period. They'll attend to Jari's skate blade, and we'll come back to Rogers Place with more Ford Dealers NHL hockey. 1-0 Anaheim on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. Big skies, rugged landscapes. Now that's Alberta in a nutshell. And if you're looking for an SUV that can keep up with this place, check out the Ford Bronco. Built for those who crave adventure, with serious off-road capability and style to spare. Whether you're hitting the mountain trails or exploring the back roads, it's the perfect ride for those who want to experience everything this province has to offer. The Ford Bronco. Adventure awaits at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PB sent you.
Meet Joe. Joe knows that a happy partner equals a happy trip. Joe booked a room through Edmonton's besthotels.com and scored up to $225 in rewards. Hello date night, fancy dinner, the works. Joe is smart. Be like Joe. Visit EdmontonsBestHotels.com to book your next stay in Edmonton.
Edmonton knows great teams. For over 60 years, Chemco has helped build Canadian industry and invest in communities nationwide. Employee-owned and operated, and with over 2,500 skilled tradespeople, Chemco delivers complete solutions as one partner with many strengths. From engineering to construction, commissioning to maintenance, safely and on schedule coast to coast. Chemco cares, and a commitment to quality, safety, and community drives lasting impact nationally and locally. Learn more at Chemco.com. Chemco, building industry, building Canada.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Trouba down and out was Tristan Jari, and as Trouba teed it up, Jari got his right elbow up, and the puck was deflected down into him. And so he was able to make the save. He's okay, just a skate blade. Gudis, another shot from the point, redirected wide as the Ducks go to work in the offensive zone off the draw. Draisaitl able to come up with a rebound, but Colson left to right, and now it'll be Nurse attacking, trying to get around Zellweger. A centering pass off of Husso, and that pinballed off Kapanen. Draisaitl unable to get there in time, jabbed at by Ryan Strome, and his follow-through. I think this is a follow-through by Strome on Nurse, not a high stick. And Nurse checking the chicklets to make sure he's okay. Strome with one hand tried to shuffle that puck in deep and caught Nurse with 5 minutes to go in this first period. They're going to deliberate here, Bob, and make sure that Strome made contact with the puck. If he did, I think it's a follow-through. How'd you see it?
I think it's a follow-through.
Definitely made. Oh, you know, but no, he brought it back.
Brought it back.
He brought it back, though. He's bringing that stick back.
That's a double minor for high stick.
Yes.
The play is under review.
It's under review. It's a double minor for high sticking, but because it's a double minor, you can review it. I think because he's bringing the stick back, yes.
He recoiled.
It's almost like a quarterback cocking his arm to throw. Strome jabs the puck, then is bringing the stick back. And on the recoil, catches Nurse.
And because it's the recoil, it should be a double minor.
I agree. At live speed, it looked like a follow-through. But when you look at it on replay, he's bringing that stick back. And that's when he catches him. Here's Garrett Rank to confirm.
After video review, the call on the ice is confirmed. Anaheim 16, 4 minutes, double minor high stick.
It's a good call. And Edmonton, in a period where, by and large,
they haven't been very good.
They now get a power play with a chance to potentially not only tie it up, but take the lead. Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins,
Well, if you
Bouchard.
you should win the draw, Jack. Okay?
Well, you look at the percentages, no question.
You should win the draw. So get it to the net.
One team's top 4, the other's bottom 4. Off the face-off, virtually a tie-up situation. Paling and Draisaitl, and it's Draisaitl who dug it out for Bouchard. Slide step to his left. He eludes Killorn brilliantly and sets up McDavid backdoor, and Hyman just heeled that one wide. He had not firmly set up his position at the far post. Paling will take it out and spoon one carefully toward Tristan Jarry.
Nugent Hopkins was lucky he didn't get called for a holding penalty there.
Bouchard to the on-rushing McDavid. He'll challenge the Anaheim line. Oilers looking to tie this game, trailing 1-0 on a power play goal by Mikael Granlund. Here's Draisaitl, a shot. And that ricocheted up and out of play. Draisaitl with 11 power play goals this year. McDavid 10. And again, I mean, you've got, Hyman and Nugent Hopkins and Bouchard, all those guys at least with 6 power play goals this year.
I mean, there's teams halfway through the season here, 50 games into the season, that don't
have
a guy with 6.
Correct. And Edmonton's got their entire first unit. Draisaitl lining up against Washi, who won the faceoff. And he'll backhand it in deep. A guy who really didn't blossom offensively until his 5th and final year at Western Michigan.
They got another guy there, Owen Michaels. Lots of teams going to be on him. Right shot center.
Draisaitl.
Got a good last
right
name.
Side. McDavid to the net. Drags it around. Puts it upstairs, but wide. He outweighted Ville Husso, but to Husso's credit, he stayed with him long enough to create a tough angle for McDavid, who takes a pass from Draisaitl left wing. Centers Draisaitl deep in the right circle. Not much of a shot lane, though, so he kicks it out to Bouchard. Only 3 sticks for Anaheim right now. None for Michikov. One-timer Draisaitl fought off by Husso. And a rebound cleared by Granlund. That's a tough save made by Ville Husso. And the Ducks are able to reset. And another quick change for the first unit. But again, they've got 4 minutes to play with, so a bit more understandable as Podkolzin dumps it in. Here's Matthias Ekholm. Still 2 minutes, 10 seconds left on the Atco power play. Shot by Roslovic, juggled and then held by Husso against Podkolzin on the rebound. Atco, your trusted Alberta retailer. 3:06 remaining in the period. There's about a 62-second differential, 2:04 left in the double minor to Strome. McDavid drew it out, and he had Husso beaten, but I'll give the Anaheim goalie credit. He stayed in the play long enough to make it a lower percentage chance.
So there's 7-0, Jack, over the last 7 games.
Yes,
So
4 in extra time, it should be noted.
And guess where their save percentage is in those 7 games?
Number 1. And where was it when they won 2 out of 15?
Last.
Correct. You and I can figure out those results. Yeah. Here's Bouchard. To McDavid, right circle. Draisaitl tucked it inside. Quick shot. McDavid fought off by Husso. Draisaitl gets it back from Bouchard. Right face-off dot. Turning and backhanding. Nugent Hopkins backdoor. Shoveled home. Game tied. Zach Hyman in his office with a power play equalizer. We're tied at 1. Hyman's got 21.
Well, there's so many different options to this Oilers power play. And Nugent Hopkins sometimes is over in the left flank. That time he ended up all the way in the right corner on the rotation. Bouchard swung it down to Draisaitl, and he reverses down low to Nugent Hopkins, and they don't take him. Michikov leaves him, and RNH could have shot the puck. Instead, slams a backdoor pass, easy tap in. Hyman's got 21.
Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl with the assists on Hyman's 8th power play goal of the year. And he had so much time, he anchors himself at the post. Trouba actually had his stick tied up initially, and the puck was lodged in the skate of Hyman. Here's a lead pass to Kapanen off the draw, and unable to tuck a wrist shot past goaltender Ville Husso after he had deked backhand and brought it back to the forehand. Jake Wallman to Podkolzin. And Anaheim in a bit of trouble here with 2:20 to go in the first period. The Oilers have the Ducks pinned in deep. Shots were at 1.7-1, now 9-9. And Anaheim takes another icing call. And the Ducks are reeling. And their propensity to take penalties has once again cost them here.
And Jack, if you're Ryan Strome and you're having the year that Stromer's having, I mean, he's been healthy scratch in multiple games. You can't have that sequence, and he just had one of those sequences.
He's got 3 goals in 31 games. Szymanski out there with Draisaitl and Savoy. 2:12 to go in the first, game tied at 1. Granlund and Hyman have traded power play goals. Off the draw, one by Draisaitl. Nurse to Wallman. Slide step to his left. Now Nurse, a shot, save Husso. And he'll hold it with 2:03 to go in the period.
You know, I whammied Edmonton's ability in the face-off circle, a top 4 team. Anaheim had won 3/4 of the draws to start this game.
Well, they're very early.
Yes.
Very early.
Well.
And as you know, I mean, face-offs, you can get hot in a game.
Well, we've seen Draisaitl have games where he's been 15-2. He is 57% on the season.
And he wins a draw here with Paling, but ducking in to grab that puck is Chris Kreider. On to Paling, in over the line with Cutter Gauthier. Paling fires it across to Helleson. We got a penalty coming against Edmonton here. Pass a little behind Seneca, who was the extra attacker coming over the boards for the Ducks. Will remain 6-on-5. Delayed penalty. 100 seconds left in the first period. Game tied at 1. Flipped in by Gauthier. That's going to be handled by Jari. And with that, we'll get the second Ducks power play and a Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Savoy to the box at 18:25.
Well, they're calling him in this one. It's 2 offensive zone penalties for Edmonton, Jack.
Well, we saw 10 power plays the other night against Washington as well. High sticking call this time, and both stick infractions, Bob, which I know drive you nuts.
In the offensive zone.
In the offensive zone, exactly. So, again, the Oilers, who had come in on a tear on the PK, and the Ducks have been struggling, while Anaheim capitalized on its first crack at it. Granlund was the man who scored. Off the draw, Gauthier to Jackson Lacombe. Operating down deep is Kreider between the wickets. A shot denied by Tristan Jarry. Chris Kreider has 12 goals in the 18 games he's played against Tristan Jarry. Of course, he saw him a lot with the Rangers. Granlund gives it up. Lacombe, one-timer and a save made. Jarry against Gauthier. Kreider able to win a battle down low to Granlund. Now up top. Lacombe, Granlund, inside. Kreider could not get the shot away. Lacombe looking for a lane. Granlund left circle. Final minute, first period, game tied at 1. Inside. Seneca tried to feed the middle. Pass was tipped out to Lacombe. Seneca again, this time dragged it across and couldn't get one cleanly on net. Poked away from the end mark by Gauthier. That was a subtle second effort to keep it alive for the Ducks. In the attack zone, Gauthier from distance, a shot handled by Jarry is trying to get a tip on it was Seneca, who had the hat trick last night in Calgary. What'd you think of Seneca coming out of juniors, Bob? To be honest with you, I didn't have him anywhere close to the Ducks roster.
I told you, last year, Canada World Juniors didn't have Seneca, Yakimichuk, and Parekh on the team, and then they couldn't score. And Seneca should have been on the team. It's a 3rd overall pick. You're basically telling Hockey Canada, saying, we're smarter than the Anaheim Ducks, having a bunch of 2nd and 3rd round draft choices there as forwards.
Kreider across, wrist shot and a save made by Jarry. The rebound taken away by McDavid, and now it's a 3-on-2 shorthanded for Edmonton. McDavid in from the right-hand side. Trailer is Ekholm, and he shoots it off the mask of goaltender Ville Husso. Trying to tuck it inside was McDavid. A great chance. Ekholm stopped. Gauthier with 10 seconds up the right-hand side. Seneca to Granlund. Tried to twist it inside, broke it up, clubbed out of the zone by Bouchard. McDavid, will he have enough time? No, at the horn. Shot it on net, and Jackson Lacombe wasn't too happy with that. McDavid giving the Ducks a wave as if to say, look, that was the echo of the horn when I let that shot fly. We are tied at 1 after 1. The shots end up being 12 for Edmonton, 11 for Anaheim. And really for me, Bob, I think the Ducks helped the Oilers out by going to the box because 5-on-5, I thought Anaheim had Edmonton quiet early.
I would argue that Edmonton also helped Anaheim out, taking a couple offensive zone penalties. They got to clean. They're obviously calling stick infractions.
Well, let's go ringside with a man who's making his NHL debut. Josh Szymanski is with our Aiden Ganem.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Josh, first 20 minutes in the NHL. Just take me through it, and how was it for you?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Obviously, with the guys that are on the ice, it's amazing. So, really happy.
Working on a line with Jack Roslovic and Matt Savoy tonight. How's it been working with those guys, and how do you feel you meshed together?
Pretty good. I mean, those are two guys that are, elite hockey players, elite hockey sense, so they make my life pretty easy. I just try to bring the energy.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Aiden. Josh Szymanski, whose father John and his 3 brothers flew in from Germany today in time to make him a observer and obviously a very proud siblings in the stands. And what hectic effort to get over here from Germany, Bob. It's hard for us to imagine the route it would take to get here on time to make that game. They did, and now we've got a 1-1 tie after 1. What'd you think of Szymanski in that first period?
Well, the story's quite something because I'm going to go back to the 2 rookie games. The one here in Edmonton against...
He was impressive.
Yeah, but...
In main camp.
In main camp, not in rookie camp.
Correct. Similar to Seneca.
And Isaac Howard was not that impressive in rookie camp either. And I was kind of like, oh, this guy's a little bit older. And then the further we went into main camp, the better.
Right.
The better, frankly, both guys got, both Howard and Szymanski. First 8 or 10 games of the minors that I watched, I probably saw Bakersfield play 4 of their first 6 games. It was okay, but by the time we got to the 15th, 20th game, you can see the progression. Jack, people that have passion and care, they're always either good employees or good at their jobs. And this guy loves hockey. And as a result of loving hockey, he's got a high ceiling. He's also got he's a big kid. He's something the Oilers don't have, which is some size down the middle.
Why do you think he didn't get drafted? Is it still kind of a slow take on players coming out of Germany?
I mean,
I'm just asking.
I don't know. All I know is he is with Octagon, and I know the Oilers, and we want to give credit to a couple guys here. Toby Selmalainen, Tony's brother, Toby Selmalainen, does a lot of the scouting in Europe for the Oilers, and specifically in Finland and Sweden, but also saw Szymanski in Germany. And former Ducks coach, Dallas Aikens, who's with Mannheim. Mannheim is in second place in the German League. He also tipped the Oilers off. Szymanski was playing with Strawberry about how much he'd improved over the course of last year. So there was some communication there from Dallas as well. And the Oilers, in the end, won the recruiting war on both David Tomashik and on Josh Szymanski, both Octagon clients. Of course, Leon Draisaitl with Octagon as well. And sometimes those things matter a bit. So good for him. I don't know if he's going to be, he might play a couple games more before the Olympic break. But he's zoomed up the charts in the Oilers' organizational depth.
Obviously, Tomashik, for those of you who don't know, has returned to Europe after a trial run of 20-some-odd games with the Oilers earlier this year. So when we come back, we'll have plenty of analysis from Rob and Brendan. A reminder, Edmonton will be shorthanded for the first 25 seconds of the second period in a 1-1 tie. Granlund and Hyman with the power play goals for Anaheim and Edmonton, respectively. And a reminder, your 50-50 jackpot is sitting at $606,000 and climbing. You could be our next lucky winner. Get your tickets now at edmontonoilers.com/5050. Brendan and Rob are next. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey the Oilers Radio Network.
During every Oilers game day, the Canadian Brewhouse is your hockey headquarters. Cheer on the blue and orange, surrounded by fans as passionate as you are, while sipping $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. And that's not all. Every game day, you can enter to win Oilers home game tickets. So grab your crew, grab a seat, and make the Canadian Brewhouse your go-to spot this hockey season. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
It's our YEG with 880 Chad.
Poetry, humor, and the Trojan War collide in the modern world as Shadow Theatre presents an Iliad on now through February 8th at the Varscona Theatre. Tickets at shadowtheatre.org. Then, pondering Scooby-Doo, where are you? Look no further than Rogers Place as the Oil Kings host the Scooby-Doo Family Day game on February 16th. Tickets on sale now. Jinkies.
For details on these and more events, visit 880chad.com. This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Draisaitl gets it back from Bouchard. Right face-off dot. Turning and backhanding Nugent Hopkins. Backdoor shoveled home. Game tied. Zach Hyman in his office with a power play equalizer. We're tied at 1. Hyman's got 21.
That is our Highlight Zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations in Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winners Zone. Brendan Escott here, Rob Brown as well. We're high above ice level at Rogers Place following a 1-1 opening frame between the Oilers and Ducks. Rob, to me it was kind of a tale of two halves of that period. I thought Anaheim dominated the first half and Edmonton was able to claw their way back. How'd you see things?
Well, yes, partly because in the second half of the period, the Ducks took some silly penalties and gave the Oilers the power plays, and thus we saw the Oilers eventually get the power play goal. 5-on-5, Jack was right. The Ducks had the better of the chances, but both teams took silly penalties in that period. You look at the 4-minute penalty that Strome took. He takes 2 steps further. He takes a hit, but he gets the puck in deep. And instead, he sees Darnell Nurse coming. He kind of bails on the hit, and as bailing on his hit, his stick comes up, cuts Nurse, and it's a 4-minute penalty. And this is when the Anaheim Ducks are playing very, very well. So not a good penalty to take. Both Savoy and Roslovic took penalties in the offensive zone, unneeded. I mean, the coaches don't mind when you stop a goal. To take a penalty, stop a goal, whether it's in the blue paint, tripping someone, hooking someone, stopping them from getting to the net. Coaches don't mind a physical penalty. But coaches hate stick infractions in the offensive zone when there's no reason for it. So I do believe if this turns into a special teams battle, which it was in the first period with a number of power plays, that favors the Oilers. The Ducks can't play that way and expect to win this hockey game. 5-on-5, again, the Oilers gave up too much. Too many good looks. And it seems like we saw last game a couple times, well, the last 2 games where fourth players coming up for the opposition were getting great scoring chances. Again tonight, the Oilers' fourth player, the one of the wingers down low in the offensive zone, they got to make sure they don't get beat up the ice. And we saw in that period the Anaheim Ducks defensemen like a Lacombe, a Zellweger, they jump up every chance they can, and the Oilers have got to do a better job not allowing that to happen.
Josh Szymanski's first go-around as an NHLer. What did you think of him? I know not a tremendous amount of playing time, so tough to form too much of an opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to really notice. He played under 2 minutes. Yeah. He got a couple shifts. I mean, good for him. And I know that Jack talked about that his father and brothers are in the stands. This is, again, we saw last game that the Oilers were very heavy in the minutes of their best players. That happened again in the first period. I mean, Connor and Leon and Nuge all over 8 minutes of ice time. Now, again, special teams dictates that. Unless this game gets to 5-on-5, it's unfortunate, but there's a lot of players that won't get ice time. Szymanski is one of those players. So I'm going to wait on my analysis of Szymanski until we get to see them for more than a minute 50 in this hockey game.
Yeah, that's more than fair. Absolutely more than fair. So as we proceed here with second period action, what are a couple of points of emphasis for the Oilers to hone in on, discipline aside, for their success moving forward?
Well, again, we talked about it, is they got to make sure you don't allow the Anaheim Ducks fourth player, usually the defenseman, to beat you up the ice. I think that's important. Puck management. The Oilers gave the puck away a few times. Great example in one shift. It's funny, Trent Frederick had probably his best scoring chance in the last 2 months on a really nice give and go. But also on that shift 3 times, he had the puck between the center ice line and the blue line and didn't get it in. Fourth line players, you get the puck in deep and you put it into an area that allows your winger or centerman to go in for a big hit, create a little bit of forecheck. So that is something that needs to be better. Anaheim Ducks, they're fast, and we watch them as they forecheck, they try to create turnovers. But if you're going to beat them, play in their end. And I think in that period, I don't think the Oilers, outside of their power plays, did enough to get pucks in deep and work the defensemen of the Anaheim Ducks. I think that should be a key as we move forward in this game.
It was Michael Granlund opening the scoring on the power play from Chris Kreider and Cutter Gauthier. That was at 3:24 of the first. And then Zach Hyman answering on the power play a little bit later on, 17-14 of the period from Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl. That's where we sit after 20 minutes of play. We are at the intermission, and this is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Oil Country. Stranded in the snow, stuck on the side of the road, or just locked out of your ride? Visit OilCountryTowing.com, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 towing and roadside rescue team. Oil Country Towing will get you going.
Rogers is Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network, so you can stream Edmonton Oilers games and see Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Ty tie things up in Tofield. Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even catch Boosh Bombs in Beaumont. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, this is our game.
Whether you're building a home, a community, or championship team, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens one step, one shift, one brick at a time. Coventry Homes, never done building. The official builder of the Edmonton Oilers, proudly celebrating 50 years. Visit coventryhomes.ca.
Hey, Oil Country. Stranded in the snow, stuck on the side of the road, or just locked out of your ride? Visit OilCountryTowing.com, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 towing and roadside rescue team. Oil Country Towing will get you going.
This is Global News at the first intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. A 2-vehicle collision this morning that left the south leg of the Henday shut down eastbound just east of Heritage Valley Road proved to be fatal. Edmonton police say that a pickup truck moving at highway speed ended up slamming into a car that had broken down in the far right eastbound lane. 27-year-old man who was alone in the car was killed, with a 23-year-old man driving the truck taken to hospital as a precaution. Hundreds of people have turned out at Stampede Park today in Calgary to sign a petition on Alberta separation. Organizers need close to 178,000 signatures by May to try and force a referendum on independence. And Prime Minister Mark Carney is rolling out a new affordability measure aimed at easing grocery costs for low-income Canadians. Carney says the plan would increase the GST credit by 25% over 5 years with an additional one-time spring payment. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast will be at the second intermission on 880 CHED.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The same AI-powered technology that helps Oilers fans move through security efficiently at Rogers Place is also available for Edmonton area schools, hospitals, and workplaces. Evolve Technology, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers and official security screening partner of Rogers Place, helps identify potential threats and create safe experiences at hockey games and wherever people gather. Visit Rogers Place to experience Evolve live or check out evolve.com for more information. That's EVOLV.com.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is always growing. Right now, they're hiring heavy equipment technicians, EM servicemen, and maintenance supervisors. Apply if you're from here or across the country. Even if you're from the Rock, they want to talk. Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
All tied up at 1 here at Rogers Place. Let's take a look around the NHL and beyond. It's the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. The Tampa Bay Lightning are holding off the Mammoth in the final couple seconds of this game. 2-0 is set to be the final score. It's just 15 seconds left while that winds down. Rangers and Bruins tied at 3 at Madison Square Garden. About 6 minutes and change left there. And earlier today, it was the Islanders blanking the Philadelphia Flyers 4-0. Any points for Matthew Schaefer in this one? Doesn't look like a big game for J.G. Pajot and Duclair as well, Anthony Duclair. So that's the story in the NHL. On the farm, the Oilers farm team, the Bakersfield Condors, playing in Henderson on Wednesday nights. They will host Abbotsford for a pair of games on Friday and Saturday this upcoming weekend. And the Oil Kings, coming off of a big win, a 5-1 win over Saskatoon yesterday here at Rogers Place, will visit Calgary on Wednesday night. That is the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73. Here in Edmonton, we are all knotted at 1. Goals coming from Michael Granlund and Zach Hyman, both of them on the power play. We'll see whether special teams continues to factor in as much as it did in the opening 20. It's Jack and Bob on the call next. This is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
You've been listening to At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Do your tires feel like hockey pucks on the road? Perhaps it's time for a new set of Atturo tires. No matter what you drive, Atturo has the right fit for you, including the all-new Trailblade HT and AZ810, premium all-weather tires for your pickup, car, SUV, or crossover. You can rest assured that Atturo tires will get you through all 4 seasons. Available at Action Car and Truck, Point S, and tire shops everywhere. Find a dealer near you at atturo.com.
Can an energy provider make you feel carefree? We think so, because who doesn't like to be surrounded by good energy? Great rates always. gimmicks never. Perks that reward your loyalty and energy experts who know what's what. Carefree just feels good. Encore by EMCOR, your carefree electricity and natural gas provider.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
At Brent, our job description is whatever you need to succeed. Expert support, parts when you need them, and financing that fits on the compact construction machines you want. Equipment, expertise, value, delivered right to your door. We do it right at your site. Call your Brent dealer to book your demo today.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
1-1 hockey game after 20 minutes of play. The shots even at 12 apiece. The Anaheim Ducks and Edmonton Oilers each registering a power play goal. So we're dead even. Ducks took the season series 3-1 last year and should have Edmonton's attention as this game for second place in the Pacific Division. The lightly regarded Ducks, the heavily favored Oilers coming into the year, but they've got virtually identical records, and they're toe-to-toe tonight at Rogers Place. Edmonton shorthanded for the first 25 seconds of the period. It's your Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. And this second period begins with a Mikhail Granlund face-off win. And here come the Ducks, shorthanded. McDavid challenging and forced a tough pass right wing to Chris Kreider, and it's an offside call against the Ducks, who struck first. Granlund 3.5 minutes in, and then with about 3.5 minutes to go in the period, Zach Hyman tied it in his, what I would call his office, which is perched against one of the two posts and basically angling himself like he's playing pinball to make sure that puck goes in off any part of his body. This one happened to be the stick. Off the draw, Jackson Lacombe after an Oiler clear. Ducks are running out of time here. They hit the line just as the power play expires. Kreider up top. Lacombe turns and fires wide of Tristan Jarry in net for the Edmonton Oilers. Ville Husso manning goal tonight for the Anaheim Ducks. Plays sparingly as Dostal is their number one. In over the line, offside, Matt Savoy, right wing. 41 seconds gone by in the second period with the game tied at 1. Anaheim, a 7-game winning streak after 9 consecutive defeats. The Oilers, 2-2 on this homestand, needed a late charge against Washington to emerge with a dramatic 6-5 overtime win on Saturday, and might have been the most entertaining game of the year.
Is there ever a 6-5 game that's not entertaining, Jack? It's the best score in hockey. Usually there's lead changes and lots of goals, and
I think you directly correlate that. Oh, here's a chance. Killorn out in front scores. Oilers got running around behind their own net. It popped out in front, and Alex Killorn, the veteran who played years in Tampa, won 2 Stanley Cups, has his 6th of the season for the Ducks. They regain the lead at 2-1. But Colson, a hard check, but the puck popped free. And Paling did a nice job of absorbing the check and locating Killorn all alone in front.
Jack, when you're playing zone defense, only one defenseman can be behind the net. One defenseman needs to stay in front of the goal. And the Oilers' top pairing did do that. And Killorn's got a 6.
Paling, an impressive job of withstanding that hit from Podkolzin, the team leader in that department. And now the Ducks off the center ice draw, force it back in. Ian Moore unable to hold the zone. Draisaitl, a spinning backhand pass right on the tape of Bouchard. Now Podkolzin forced out wide. One-timer Bouchard, and that was wide. Glove side of Ville Husso. Rebound sent down low by Matthias Ekholm. Draisaitl will spin it up top. Bouchard to the middle of the ice, Kapanen. Draisaitl tees up Bouchard. Back to Draisaitl, one-timer sharp angle, and that was deflected wide. Oilers able to come up with it. Chipped out to the point, a drive by Ekholm, blockered away by Husso. Rebound fought for. Draisaitl lost control. Ducks did not get it out. Minchikov, a miscommunication with Johnston, but Ian Moore is there to backhand it in deep. Moore backs off now as a shot comes in from Roslovic off a setup from Szymanski, and a save made by Husso. Rebound up top. Wallman shot along the ice, tipped just wide of Husso, and now the Ducks clear back through center. Wallman will kick it back. Darnell Nurse rifles a pass intended for Savoy. It was deflected, and then Husso and Zellweger almost got their signals crossed. Zellweger able to recover and flip it up the left-hand side. No icing. And going in is Johnston in on the forecheck with Granlund against Wallman. Killorn dug it out to the point. Trouba from Lacombe. A shot along the ice. Easily steered to the corner by Jarry. Rebound for McDavid. Up the right-hand side, Nugent Hopkins. And now McDavid blistering by, and a clean check by Jackson Lacombe sent him sprawling into the end boards. Slow to rise. I think he's going to be okay. Kreider up to Lacombe, a left-wing slapper, and that missed the net. And the rebound clattered off the boards, and McDavid's got a partial breakaway to the net. Taken out. This time he's drawn a penalty. penalty. Garrett Rank, his arm in the air. Let's see. Penalty shot.
Wow. And you know what? Connor's going to need to take a break here.
I'm a little surprised at the penalty shot
Me too.
call.
To me, it's a penalty. Don't think it's a penalty shot, and the Ducks aren't too happy.
Number 97 has been awarded a penalty shot due to being tripped by Anaheim 65.
Trouba called for the penalty that leads to a penalty shot for Connor McDavid, who's already scored on a penalty shot this season. McDavid goes about 45% in shootouts as well. Bearing down on Husso, he'll take it out wide right side. Cuts to the middle, shoots, and stopped by Husso. And perhaps some poetic justice there as McDavid denied. So the score remains 2-1.
Well, Husso's having a great start. Like, he's made 5 or 6 really good saves. And look, we're the Oilers broadcasters. If that was reversed and it was an Oilers defender,
we would not have cared for the call.
We would not have cared for the call. That was a tough call against Jacob Trouba. I was surprised it was a penalty shot call.
McDavid tried to go 5-hole. Husso makes the save. And because a penalty shot was awarded, there's no power play. Offensive zone draw for the Oilers, and that's all. Off the draw, Ducks again. Kind of a lazy stab at it by Drew Hellison. And as a result, the puck remains in the offensive zone. Stastny trying to choke it off, but it's lifted out by Moore, the rookie defenseman out of Harvard. Again, we told you a lot of talent, but a lot of inexperience on that Anaheim back end. And Husso rimmed it off the plexi and out of play, bringing action to a halt with 16:20 to go in the second period. And the score still 2-1 Anaheim. Oilers play host to San Jose on Thursday. Edmonton, I talked about the fact that it's fresh meat week. Oilers haven't played the Sharks either, and they're just a couple points behind. Again, challenging for a playoff spot.
Celebrating's just been unreal, let's face it.
Has a real argument if San Jose should get into the postseason for the Hart Trophy. Kapanen challenging, twisted around, because look at the scoring gap between Celebrini and the rest of his teammates.
It's over 40-point difference.
It's kind of having a Taylor Hall type of year. If you think about how Hall won the MVP back when Jersey surprisingly claimed a playoff spot in 2018. Cutter Gauthier off to Ryan Poehling in the offensive zone for the Ducks. Taken off his stick, Kapanen looked for Draisaitl. The pass a little behind him, a hard hit on Nurse, off balance. Kapanen steps up, right-hand side, leaves it for Woolman. Puck in the offensive zone, played down low, came off the glass, ate up Gudis. Centering pass kicked off the side of the net to Draisaitl. Open is Ty Emberson. Stastny left circle in front, redirected home. And Spencer Stastny has just collected his first point as an Edmonton Oiler. And I think it's an own goal against the Ducks. So this is going to be a goal for Stastny. His first point turns into a goal as it caromed off, I believe, Olin Zellweger were tied at 2.
Well, Draisaitl, the Oilers got a fortuitous ricochet that went to Leon on the right side boards, and he swung it to Emberson. Emberson and Stastny, as you know, played together in the U.S. National Development Program, and the puck deflects into the net.
Stastny had not had a point in 22 games as an Oiler coming in. But he put it into a dangerous area, and it ricocheted off Zellweger's right skate, I believe. Time 4:36.
Well, as you
and
know,
we're tied.
As you know, that happens to defensemen once in a while. Are they looking at this? The Ducks are looking now.
Let's hear it.
Anaheim's taking their 30-second timeout.
No, it's a 30-second timeout. So what they're doing is buying some extra time to see if they want to challenge this. This is not a reset because, of course, the Ducks weren't getting outplayed at the time. It's not like Edmonton has managed this wonderful rally. This is a little extra time to look at a potential out of play. Rob Brown is telling us it might have at one point left the playing surface.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
I have not seen a replay yet.
They are not challenging now.
They are not challenging, but that's what they were looking at.
Do you remember the Velarde play?
Absolutely.
Right? That was an overtime goal.
That was a high stick where Connor McDavid was wondering what was going on. But this one, I believe, was a question of whether or not the puck had left the playing surface, and now there's still further deliberations, even though no challenge has been indicated. And now another conversation is going to take place with Joel Quenneville and Brandon Blandina. I think Quenneville's asking, do I need to challenge this, or is it an automatic review?
Yeah.
And the answer is you'd have to challenge it.
You got to make.
He's not going to.
It's got to be automatic in terms of you got to know for sure you're going to win the challenge.
Well, and you got to see it too, Bob.
Because Edmonton's power play is so good.
Well, and also that puck leaving the playing surface can be tough because, as you know,
optical
the dark
illusion.
background.
Yeah.
Well, the dark background, it's sometimes that puck you can't tell unless it ripples the netting, obviously.
It's the dreaded dark background and the dreaded optical illusion.
How about when we used to have to call games in Brooklyn? A high-rising slap shot. You and I looked at each other.
We saw...
We were like Frank Drebin calling balls and strikes in Major League.
I saw a guy get out of there faster than anybody alive on Super Bowl Sunday once.
That had nothing to do with the background, though. It might have had something to do with an 8-1 score.
Yes.
Josh Szymanski able to force the puck into the offensive zone. Emberson, by the way, will get the assist on Stastny's second goal of the year, and Leon Draisaitl will pick up an apple as well. Spencer Stastny on top of the puck for Edmonton. Lead pass up the wing. Draisaitl has assists on both goals tonight for Edmonton. We are tied at 2. Anaheim has led twice. Last night, the Ducks trailed 2-0 and 3-2 before rallying to win in overtime against Calgary. Granlund in deep. Seneca can't get there. McDavid had it pried loose off his stick, but the puck squirts into the slot. Bouchard looks up ice and rifled one off the skate of a backtracking Granlund. Trouba reverses over to Jackson Lacombe. Lead pass left wing Seneca. Bouchard back. Played along the boards, Mikhail Granlund. Seneca up top. Zellweger. Anaheim dressing 11 forwards, 7 defense tonight with, again, injuries to 3 of its top forwards. Killorn backhands it up top. Here's Gudas, a shot from distance. That was blocked by Ekholm. Rebound, Nugent Hopkins did not get it out. Staying with it, Killorn, but he turned it over. Nugent Hopkins got drilled, took the hit to make the play to McDavid. Quickly, Ekholm back in front, and he scores! Set up by Hyman. Tic-tac-toe! And what a finish by Ekholm! Edmonton, its first lead of the night at 3-2.
That's the 4th goal of the year for Ekholm, who's been on a bit of a plus run here of late. Jumps up and activates. Slow developing 3-on-2. And the proverbial give and go. Ekholm on a back pass to Hyman. Back to Ekholm. 5-hole. Hyman and McDavid will draw the assist. 3-2 Edmonton.
Time 6:28. And the Oilers 2 goals in a span of a minute 52 to turn a 2-1 deficit into a 3-2 lead. And that's all the more impressive considering the disappointment of the failed penalty shot by McDavid. But Edmonton with its first slate of the night. Here's Lazar burrowing in, short side, save made by Husso. And he'll squeeze it with 13:18 to go in the second period. High event hockey once again tonight at Rogers Place. Home to a 6-5 Edmonton win on Saturday. And now 2 nights later, it's the Oilers 3, the Ducks 2. We'll be back with more second period play-by-play in just a moment. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
To the fans who Show your passion for the Oilers and cheer on the team at Molson Oilers Game Day Live. Attend throughout the season for your chance to win 2026-27 Edmonton Oilers season seats. Be there for the next Game Day Live event on January 29th at Fargo's on 50th. For the full event schedule and to RSVP to the Ultimate Oilers Watch Party, visit OilersGameDayLive.com.
Bloom Benefits offers amazing coverage that even the toughest hockey players can get behind. With excellent coverage, they offer things like massage. You want to go? Counseling services. Let's go. Dental coverage. That was not offside. And eye exams. With custom health coverage for any group of any size, Bloom Benefits make every team better, stronger, and healthier. Plans start from just $54 a month. Rethink your benefits today at bloombenefits.ca.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
13 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the second period. The Oilers have turned this game around, trailed on two separate occasions. McDavid missed a penalty shot, but Stastny and Ekholm, contributions from the back end. And Edmonton has turned a 2-1 deficit into a 3-2 lead. Draisaitl an offensive zone face-off to the right of Ville Husso. Puck pinballs around off the draw, eventually recovered by Kapanen. Nurse top of the left circle, a shot elevated up and out of play with 13:05 to play in the second. It's Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. 50-50 sitting at $629,000 right now in support of the Ronald McDonald House Charities and the YMCA.
Kapanen's getting his blade looked at by Jeff Lang, the Oilers bench.
He's been busy, Jeff Lang. Had to fix Tristan Jarry's skate back in the first period. And now Kapanen back and ready to roll. With Draisaitl and Podkolzin, Nurse and Wollman defensively. Face-off win for Paling, and a high lofted puck tossed in the air. Unable to reel it in was Jeff Viel, and here come the Oilers on the counter. Draisaitl, Anaheim, a 7-game winning streak on the line. Paling a steal from center ice. He tried to get it in deep a second time, and both foiled by Wollman. He'll break out with a lead pass to Podkolzin through the wickets of Kapanen. That would have been offside, I believe. Trouba having canceled it out off to Lacombe, and now Paling stumbled and fell. And the Oilers have a 2-on-1. Nurse walks in, shoots and scores. 4-2 Edmonton. Darnell Nurse with his first goal since December the 13th. 7th of the year, makes it 3-2. 4-2.
Chuck, I love that he shot the puck. Instead of forcing a pass through in the 2-on-1, let her rip. And that's what he did. And he can score. He's had multiple years with double-digit goals for defense. And when a guy doesn't play in the first power play unit, and he's got 4 seasons of 10-plus goals in his career, it shows that he can score 5v5.
Well, he's also had 7 straight campaigns of at least 30 points. And he buried that one. Short side on Ville Husso. I don't think is going to be enamored with that goal against. Nurse unassisted at 7:34, and the Oilers 3 goals in a span of less than 3 minutes. And then now all of a sudden are in command of this hockey game. Ellison off an Edmonton dump in, tries the left-hand side. Forced to go up the right wing boards. Overrunning the play is Harkins, and another 2-on-1. Ekholm walks in, shoots and scores. And Anaheim is leaking odd man rushes against. And what a night for the back end. 4 consecutive consecutive goals scored by Oiler defenseman, 2 by Ekholm. He's got 5 on the year, and the Oilers are running the Ducks right out of the building.
Well, but we talk about the fact when the Oilers have off nights, game management, puck management, and the Ducks are feeding the Oilers transition. And what's crazier, that Edmonton's had defense score 4 straight goals, or that Evan Bouchard hasn't been one of the guys to get any of those goals.
Or even factor in any of them.
Right.
Ekholm makes it 4 goals in a span of 3 minutes and 49 seconds for the Edmonton Oilers. And once trailing 2-1, it's now a 5-2 game, Edmonton. And I think we're seeing some of that inexperience from Anaheim come home to roost. A shot from a sharp angle by Jackson Lacombe. In the left corner is stopped by Jarry, and he'll freeze it. Now Ross Johnston is trying to stir the pot a bit for his hockey club.
You don't need to respond to Ross Johnson or Jeff Viel. I mean, those guys are both legitimately tough. You have the momentum in the game.
And I like Szymanski being in there as well.
They're going to push you. They're going to challenge you once in a while. You got to push back.
Well, the Oilers have pushed back in a big way. 4 goals in less than 4 minutes to completely take over this hockey game. Ekholm with a pair. The last one set up by Savoy. But as Bob talked about, I think the last 2 for sure kind of gifts. I mean, as you said, you're going to feed Edmonton's transition game. You're going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
Ducks back their way in. Seneca trying to get a shot away, and Nurse ate him up. McDavid tried to reverse. That did not leave the zone. Held on the right half board. Seneca sharp angle shot missed. Rebound, Lacombe. Bouncing puck, punched off the stick for a moment of Granlund, and that exited. Now Seneca down the slot, and he missed a wrist shot up high, trying to beat Jarry glove side. Here's Lacombe. Yeah, the seas parted. And Seneca bursting down the slot. Now Granlund. Stastny had not had a point in his first 22 games as an Oiler. And now he's got 2 in 1 period, 2 in less than 4 minutes. Goal and an assist. Walking in Nugent Hopkins, shooting right circle, and a save made by goaltender Billy Husso. Rebound McDavid to the middle of the ice, and that's snatched away by Jackson Lacombe. He'll put it on to Gudis' tape. Radko Gudis down the middle, wide open in the slot. A shot by Kreider, and a glove save made by goaltender Tristan Jarry. This another game where both teams are leaking chances against. I don't know how ecstatic Edmonton's going to be, but what I can tell you is if you feed the Oilers transition game, you're going to pay the price. And an Anaheim Ducks rebuild, still a work in progress, are feeling the sting of that transition game tonight. 4 goals in a span of 3 minutes and 49 seconds. And it's Edmonton 5, Anaheim 2. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Sometimes hockey can feel like life, but you need an off-season. And Sherwood Power Sports and Marine have the equipment to make your downtime a great time. Louis DeBrusque here, inviting you to check out the brand new Sherwood Park location across from Millennium Place. You'll find the best in boats, ATVs, motorcycles, and gear from brands you trust. Sherwood Power Sports and Marine have my seal of approval. Click to SherwoodPowersports.ca. Hockey fans helping hockey fans.
If you ever find yourself needing collision repair, CarStar is here to help make accidents unhappen. Any make, any model. That said, there are some accidents CarStar can't make unhappen, such as accidentally waking a hibernating bear, accidentally biting into a raw habanero pepper, accidentally throwing a frisbee at a beehive. CarStar, Canada's trusted collision repair expert, is here to make car accidents unhappen. For a location near you, visit carstar.ca.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
9:52 remaining second period. Edmonton 5, Anaheim 2. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Spencer Stastny pushes one ahead for Leon Draisaitl. He's got a goal and an assist in this Edmonton fusillade in period 2 that has allowed the Oilers to take command of this battle for second place in the Pacific. But Colson tried to go inside to Draisaitl. Pass caught him in the skate, lifted up ice, and knocked down by Strome, who follows it up. Draisaitl able to settle it down, kick it back, and now it's Stastny bumping it over right-hand side Emberson. But Colson in across the line. Right to left, Draisaitl, top of the right circle. Open as Wallman. Dishes off, but Colson a one-timer and a save made by Billy Husso.
That beat him, Jack. Wait, it got through him, and I think it might have kicked off.
It's lodged in his right knee pad. It's still in his pad.
It beat Billy Husso on the shot. And it got through him, and he just about made it 6-2. You know,
but Colson is enjoying setting up in Draisaitl's office the last couple weeks, has he not? Found a home there? He likes that one-timer from that spot.
Is it any surprise who's the first guy on the ice working on one-timers in practice every day?
Off the draw, Szymanski keeps it alive. Wallman from distance, block shot with less than 9 minutes remaining now in the second period. Shot in by Ian Moore. Here's a drive from the left half wall, blocked, and here come the Edmonton Oilers. Up ice, Matt Savoy driving the net. Passes there, save, Husso, rebound in front. And what a play by Lacombe to pick it off the goal line. That looked like a sitter for Szymanski's first NHL goal, and Lacombe was sitting right on the goal line to stop it. Had to choke back on my goal call there, Bob. What a play by Jackson Lacombe. Chipping it in, Curtis Lazar. Hard rim around. Nice job by Stastny to hold on to it. Back behind Lazar. Janmark. Little miscommunication. Emberson will get back in time against Seneca. Seneca regained the puck, tried to chip it across, but now we'll have a penalty called, I believe, against Emberson for coming down hard on the stick of Seneca. And this will be Anaheim's third power play of the night.
Yeah, Szymanski will be kicking himself there. That's a tap in.
Initial save on Roslovic, who then put it in front for Szymanski, and he just shot it right into the stick of Jackson Lacombe. Still an alert play by the third-year man. And a lot of people feel like Jackson Lacombe should have been on the United States Olympic team. Well, what a defensive play he made.
And as you know, he is now on the team because he's replaced.
But I mean initially.
Initially, yes. I think, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Lane Hudson should be on the U.S. Olympic team as well. Got to be able to create 5v5.
Granlund against Connor McDavid. Well, there's certainly an argument for Lane Hudson as well. No doubt about it. Here's a lead pass, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins shorthanded with McDavid. In across the line, McDavid makes a move to the middle. Dishes off, open as Bouchard. Through one man, waiting, and then never pulled the trigger. Couldn't quite get it settled on his stick. I think he wanted to go upstairs on Husso. Nugent-Hopkins forechecking and draining more clock on this Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. The Ducks were able to shrug off that chance, but then Gauthier coughed it up. Bouchard will circle, didn't get it out against Kreider, and now is mashed against the corner boards by Gauthier. Ducks power play at 1:15. Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Bouchard, Ekholm, Savoy got it ahead. Connor McDavid shorthanded. Lacombe back defensively. McDavid wandering, dishing. Savoy a shot and a kick save made by Husso. Boy, Anaheim has given one quality chance after another up. It's still a work in progress for the Ducks, who, despite being improved, are still next to last in the league in goals against. Jari got bottled up as he tried to play a dump in, and the Ducks have possession up top. Seneca, Lacombe, right circle. Pressure from that side by Podkolzin. Lacombe, one-timer Seneca. Good save, Jari. Rebound, Seneca. Thrust across, Mikhail Granlund. Right face-off dot. Shoots and scores. Beat Jari glove side, and a good screen set in front of him by Alex Killorn. And that's Granlund's second goal of the night. And his 11th gives Anaheim some real life. It's 5-3.
Jack, this game is not over. We might get 4 more goals in this game the way it's going right now. I mean, there's chances both ways. Great screen by Killorn. There's nothing Jari can do there.
Time 13:41. Anaheim's second power play goal of the night in 3 chances. Remember, coming in, Edmonton had only given up 4 in its last 16 games. Seneca snapped it across, and Granlund beats Jari glove side. Seneca will get the primary helper on that power play goal. Granlund's second of the night. And the Ducks power play, remember, had been struggling. Just 2 goals in its last 9 games. They've got 2 tonight. McDavid tried to send it across. Getting it in deep, Jeff Viel. Following up on the right-hand side is Paling. Carved out of there by Draisaitl. He and McDavid 5-on-5 following the kill. Hyman across the Draisaitl, in tight, and that hopped over the stick of Connor McDavid. Think back to that shorthanded chance that the Oilers had. McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Bouchard off the rush. Couldn't get a shot away. Draisaitl tried to center, and later, give Husso credit, he made a good save on Matt Savoy shorthanded. Here's Jake Wallman just inside the blue line as Edmonton back to work 5-on-5, leading this game 5-3. Thrust across, Nurse shoots, and Husso got a piece. Again, Nurse looking short side, didn't miss by much. Nurse shoots again, that was tipped. Rebound eludes Draisaitl. Jeff Viel staggers his way up through center. Found the puck in his skates and golfed it over Jari off the plexi. And now Ryan Strome against Darnell Nurse in the corner. Nurse won the battle, got it through Kreider. Jack Roslovic up through center. Gudas poked it away, and the Ducks have some numbers coming over the line, but offside left wing. And another mistake for Ryan Strome. A bit of an unforced error there, taking away a potential Anaheim scoring chance. 4:48 to go, second period. The Ducks have crawled within 2. It's Edmonton 5, Anaheim 3. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. Late second period action continues in just a moment. The Oilers Radio Network.
Rogers is Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network, so you can stream Edmonton Oilers games and see Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Ty tie things up in Tofield. Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even catch Boosh Bombs in Beaumont. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, this is our game.
At Northern Lakes College, students work, raise their family, and complete their certificate, diploma, or partnership degree. With NLC's supported distance learning model, you can do it all in a flexible online classroom. Explore a variety of programs from academic upgrading to university studies, including a wide range of programming available through continuing education. Skate into your new career in a learning environment that works for you. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Learn where you live.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know, Alberta's a special place. From the Rockies to the Plains, it's a land of hard work and big dreams. If you're going to tackle it all, you need a truck that can keep up. That's why I can't say enough about my Ford F-150. It's more than a truck. It's a partner. Rugged toughness, serious capability, and smart features that make your life easier, like available Pro Power onboard. The Ford F-150. Get yours today at your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
5-3 Edmonton, 4:48 to go in the second period. Oilers scored 4 goals in less than 4 minutes to turn a 2-1 deficit into a 5-2 lead. Granlund got one back for the Ducks. This was a 1-1 tie after one, and well, the second period has been interesting to say the least. Here's Janmark. Off a neutral zone draw, in from the left side. Emberson a shot, redirected wide of Husso. A screen set in front. And now the Ducks come thundering back the other way. Anaheim among the league leaders, and comeback wins. Ducks can score. They continue to have trouble defending. Oh, Granlund steals the puck, shoots short side, and a save made by Jari. As Bob's Grimace, reacting to Spencer Stastny, got himself in a bit of trouble. 2 hoppers sent on net by Frederick, kicked out by Husso into the slot. Lacombe won a battle to free it up for Trouba. Rink wide, left wing gathered by Seneca. He'll toss it toward Jari and make a line change with under 4 minutes remaining in this second period. First meeting of 3 this year between Edmonton and Anaheim. Last year of an unbalanced schedule, so the Oilers and Ducks face one another only 3 times. Nurse left corner, tucked inside, broken up. Managing to work his way to center is Viel. A strike onto the tape of Brian Palin. Puts the brakes on, flutters one to the middle. Nurse is there to make the steal on Cutter Gauthier, and then Draisaitl banks it up the right-hand side. Following up is Kasperi Kapanen. Missed the last week with yet another injury. He keeps getting set back this year. When he's played, he's been highly effective. Here's an offside whistled against Edmonton as McDavid tried to take a lead from Evan Bouchard across the line. 3 minutes to go, second period, 5-3 Edmonton.
It's quite the story with Kapanen, because I think you'd agree last year in the regular season, at times he played center, but he ended up a big minus 5v5 for Edmonton, and then worked his way back into the rotation in the playoffs and was terrific in round 2 against Vegas.
Well, they need his speed.
Yeah, and
he's an irritant, and he's an irritant partly due to the fact that he gets in the forecheck.
Yep.
And guys don't like getting hit by him. He's a guy like Dylan Holloway, where some guys just simply don't like him. Seneca in from the left-hand side, and hitting has a lot to do with it. No one loves to get hit time and time again. Jacob Trouba, right circle, little give and go with Kreider, and then Trouba back in front. Of course, Trouba and Kreider, both ex-New York Rangers. A steal by McDavid. In from the right-hand side, poke checked away by Trouba. Ducks in transition now. Both teams turning the puck over. Wrist shot off the rush, a save on Kreider by Jari. The rebound forced wide. Again, Kreider, 12 lifetime goals against Tristan Jari. Do you think Edmonton's been lulled into this kind of fire wagon approach here, Bob, with the back and forth and a lot of turnovers?
Just scoring your chances, because you're going to get some more.
Well, I think Edmonton has been sloppy at times, too. Here's Moore ahead, wrist shot, and that is over the net. What a chance for Washi. I mean, right there, Bob. How is Washi that wide open, barreling down the mid-slot?
Yeah, they're doing a good job of getting...
That hit the bar.
The Oilers are overloading, and Anaheim is activating. That time they hit the trailing forward. It wasn't a D, but still. It's got to have a little bit better recognition here, Jack.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. You can't play Anaheim's game, not when you're up 2.
I might assert you, the Oilers have got to get out of this period still up by 2.
Off the draw, Stastny, left-hand side. Center ice, battled for, ultimately controlled by Frederick and kicked back to Stastny. Pressure.
Why is that not a slash?
From Killorn. Did kind of chop in there. I'm not sure it got in on the hands. That could be part of the reason why.
That's a
Zellweger to Gudis.
Game management there. Edmonton's up by 2.
Left wing lead for Killorn. Missed him. That's an icing call against Anaheim with 1:22 to play in the second period. Both teams have had 3 power plays tonight. Edmonton 1 of 3. Anaheim 2 of 3.
And the Oilers are going to load up their top line here. Put Leon with Connor for an ozone draw.
Well, and also you're looking at 1:22 to play in the period. Draisaitl lining up against Granlund. Off the face-off, Hyman, stick snapped in half. Seneca shovels it toward the net, and Jari played it like a center fielder, a little basket catch at the top of the blue paint. 1:13 to go in the second. Face-off coming in the O-zone for Anaheim.
The thing that surprised me the most in this game is how well the Ducks have done in the face-off circle. I mean, they don't have their top 2 centers playing, and they're winning a lot of draws. That time the Oilers load up their top line and can't gain O-zone puck possession. Now a D-zone draw for Edmonton. Lazar out, righty at 58% this year.
1:13 to go, period 2. Face off to the right of Tristan Jarry. Lazar against Paling. Lazar won it cleanly, and now Matthias Ekholm will duck away from Viel. Moving in as Bouchard, a shot handcuffed Husso, but he made the save, blocker side. Rebound Paling with 1 minute to go in the period. Advanced by Lacombe up to Viel. Didn't handle that puck cleanly. Otherwise, he might have had a decent look. Dropped it off. Paling drop pass. Here's Gauthier firing, and a glove save made by Tristan Jarry. And somehow that play worked out for the Ducks, despite Viel kind of beating that puck square for a moment.
And I'm now going to concede, Jock, and I hate to do this, but you might be onto something here. The Oilers got to ratchet up the EQ, the emotional quotient, because right now the Ducks they're surging back and making. So the Oilers struck for 4 quick ones here, but Anaheim's carried the play in the last 5 minutes of this period.
Well, and the Ducks can come back on you. I mean, they're a team that's dangerous offensively. Hyman's speed negates a potential icing as it was sent in deep by Nurse. And now, because of that speed, here's McDavid dropping it off to Nurse. Up top, one-timer Wallman wide. Rebound poked away from Draisaitl. Still with McDavid and Hyman for the final half minute here in period 2. Shoveled up the right-hand side by Washi. Tracked by Wallman. Pressure from Ross Johnston. Moved ahead for Connor McDavid through the neutral zone and on to Draisaitl's stick. Still plenty of time. Nurse's shot. Tipped away. 8 seconds. Ducks can move up ice and maybe get a last chance here. Snapshot from the blue line. And that one sailed about 10 feet over the net off the plexi. And the Ducks looking a bit gassed. That was Washi at the horn, missing the net badly. But nevertheless, that power play goal by Granlund gives the Ducks just enough hope to stick around for the third period and not bemoan their fate about playing the second of a back-to-back and being in the midst of a road trip here. Ducks can go to work. On the other hand, Edmonton, the explosiveness remains, Bob. And tonight, similar to the back-to-back shutout victories against St. Louis and Vancouver, it's the secondary scorers, especially from the back end, that are contributing. I know Draisaitl has a couple of assists and McDavid has an assist, but they're not the story tonight.
No, and Matthias Ekholm, who had a difficult first 15, 18 games there. Let's not forget, Evan Bouchard was -9 through the first 18 games this season. He's +9 on the season.
I think part of that was related to the fact that Ekholm wasn't fully healthy.
That's where I was going to go here. A lot of people, and look, Jack and me we were in Long Island the night that Evan was directly involved in 3 goals against. Okay, got stripped by Barzell on one, got caught up ice by Bo Horvat, who's a really good player on a stretch and a shorthanded breakaway.
It's the nadir of his career. It's probably the worst game he's ever played.
And the problem for him is Julian Brisebois was there that night, Jim Nill, and they couldn't unsee that performance. But we see Bouchard on a nightly basis, and we see Bouchard elevate in the playoffs. And the thing that drives me nuts, Jack, are the guys, well, in one game. And I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking about? The games in the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup final are pretty important, too. The guy's a record setter for assists for defensemen come playoff time in a single playoff year. He's second all time to Bobby Orr.
Points per game.
He can elevate. Tonight, it hasn't been him. Tonight, it has been Ekholm, who's ratcheted his game up, and he's going. Obviously, good for Stastny. I'm not sure. They haven't quite credited that. They announced the second assist in-house for Stastny, but it's right now currently not on the scoring summary.
So we're not sure whether he has a goal and an assist.
No, we know he's got a goal, and Nurse has obviously got a goal as well. But 4 goals by Oilers defense. None of them named Evan Bouchard. You'll take that.
Bouchard isn't even on the score sheet.
The Oilers are going to get some chances here. They got to capitalize because the Ducks will continue to push, and that sometimes when you're pushing, when you're a little bit fatigued and a little bit short-handed, you're going to give up some opportunities. Edmonton's got to make the most of it here, Jack. Carrying in period number 3.
Well, exactly right. I mean, the Ducks are short-handed. I know they've won 7 straight games, but they're without Leo Carlson, Mason McTavish, and Troy Terry. I mean, those are 3 of their top 5 forwards at a bare minimum. So you've got to take advantage when a club's a little beat up coming to your house on the second of a back-to-back, and you've got to reassert your dominance. I think Edmonton, quite frankly, didn't take the Ducks that seriously last year, and the end result was Anaheim took 3 of 4 in a season series that had been completely dominated by Edmonton the 4 or 5 years prior.
So work to do, get it closed here in the third, Jack.
5-3, the score through 40 minutes of play. And again, the 4 goals in a span of 3:49 scored in succession by Stastny, Ekholm, Nurse, Ekholm. So it's been that kind of night. Pucks are going in. Granlund's got a couple on the power play to keep Anaheim's hopes alive. 5-3 Oilers, 40 minutes complete. Straight ahead, we've got Brendan Escott and Rob Brown. That's next. This is Four Dealers NHL Hockey live from Rogers Place, the Oilers Radio Network.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Take in the ultimate game day experience at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options and off-track betting. Feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Don't miss a second of the action at Century Casino.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming an 880 Ched Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment. Sign up now at 880ched.com and click on Ched Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 880 Ched, Edmonton's news, today's talk, where Edmonton stays informed and entertained today and every day. This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Centering pass kicked off the side of the net to Draisaitl. Open is Ty Emberson. Stastny left circle in front, redirected home. And Spencer Stastny has just collected his first point as an Edmonton Oiler. And I think it's an own goal against the Ducks. So this is going to be a goal for Stastny. His first point turns into a goal as it caromed off, I believe, Olin Zellweger were tied at 2.
Well, that's our highlight zone brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. Yeah, lots of scoring there in that middle frame. We sit at 5-3 Oilers after an offensive outburst. Brendan Escott here, Rob Brown as well. Rob, how'd you see frame number 2?
Sloppy. I mean, it's funny. You look at, I think it's the last 2 goals that the Oilers scored. Anaheim has full control of the puck at the Oilers blue line, and the Anaheim Duck player, I don't know if he blew a wheel. he just lost focus, lost concentration, and he falls down on the blue line with the puck while his teammates are changing. It turns, and all of a sudden, here come the Oilers with numbers. The next goal that they score, the Ekholm one, there's a guy breaking to that. The guy with the puck on the duck with the puck on the boards, all he has, doesn't have to pass it stick to stick. He puts it anywhere within a 25-foot space in the middle of the ice in the Oilers zone, and it's a breakaway for the Ducks. He turns it over, and here comes Ekholm the other way as well. So some really, really poor plays by the Ducks. Now, they're missing some major players. I know that Jack and Bob just talked about it, and some of the guys that are making these mistakes are guys that probably wouldn't be in the lineup. But the mistakes they're making are just so egregious. It's just so big, and you can't do that. We talk all the time about the Oilers' puck management. You can't make it easy for the opposition. Well, the Ducks have done that time and time again in this game to allow the Oilers these easy looks, and the Oilers have taken full advantage of them.
A lot to be said for the fact that it was 4 defensemen that scored in the middle frame there. Stastny with his first point as an Oiler, Ekholm with a couple, Nurse. It's not necessarily been on the backs of the superstars tonight to be generating everything, which Jack was pointing out there. I think it's important that Edmonton continues, obviously, getting these depth contributions on a night-to-night basis, right?
Yeah, well, they normally don't, so this is a good thing. What you like about it is Darnell Nurse picked up the puck at his own blue line, and he had an odd man break. He had a thought-first mentality. It was a 3-on-1. But he's got the puck on his stick. Don't force something. You've got the puck, complete control. Just take it to the net and shoot. Ekholm, same thing. He gets the puck. It's a 2-on-1. He just fires the puck on net. He goes top shelf. Again, we talked before the game. The one big advantage when a team plays back-to-back with the first game in Calgary, you get the opposition's backup goaltender. And Ville Husso's had a tough night tonight. I mean, at some point you have to make a save. He hasn't done that. So the Oilers took full advantage of it, and it's a good thing. It was interesting, though, the tying goal. And I know that Jack and Bob were having a conversation trying to figure out at what point why there was such a delay. The puck was shot up high in the air behind the Ducks net. And it took a weird bounce. If you watch the replay, Radigudas, he's thinking the puck is going to continue going into the far corner, and it bounces behind him. The Oilers get control of the puck, and then they score. Right away, the goaltender pointed to the referee, called him over, and said that puck hit the netting behind. That's why you saw Quenneville call the timeout. They looked at it. The problem with, and if it hits the netting, you can challenge it because it's a whistle should have been called. But the problem is finding a camera angle that shows a black puck bouncing off a black net at the right moment. It's next to impossible. My guess, because it was a weird bounce coming down. And the goaltender right away pointed out, but it would be really, really hard to find that on video. And the problem, unless you have an absolute definite type of look, if you don't get the call, now not only does the goal count, here's a power play coming the other way. They thought about calling it. It may have hit the back netting, but it was obviously they had no video to allow them to risk that chance.
So they don't have their timeout then. Obviously they had to waste it there because I was getting text messages saying that they were worried that, or Quenneville was upset because he didn't have his timeout at the end of all that. So he
called the timeout, so he loses his timeout, which is right. And I know that we talked about it before, and we had a caller the other night saying, why would someone waste a timeout? Well, on that one, his first thought was to challenge it. And if he would have challenged it, it probably would have been wrong. And now the Oilers would have had a power play right afterwards. So I don't know how many times over the course of a season teams still have a timeout in their back pocket when the game ends. I would say it's probably 80% of the time.
Yeah.
So use your timeout when it calls for it. Could have been a big moment in the game. It just didn't work out for Anaheim.
Alex Killorn opened the second period scoring with his 6th of the year. Spencer Stastny, you heard there, ricocheted it in to the net for his first point as an Oiler. Matthias Ekholm's first of the period. Then Darnell Nurse's 7th of the year. That made it 4-2. Matthias Ekholm's second of the period made it 5-2 before Granlund on the power play made it 5-3, which is where we sit right now. We'll step out once more here. This is at the intermission, and this is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
Do you have tickets to an upcoming event at Rogers Place that you can't attend? Donate your tickets to the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation Seats for Kids program, presented by Eagle Builders. Seats for Kids provides unused game tickets for charities, allowing children and families to enjoy hockey at Rogers Place. And for many, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. To be a part of the Seats for Kids program presented by Eagle Builders, please email edmonton@kidsupfront.com. That's edmonton@kidsupfront.com.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back and better than ever. With more early bird prizes, bonus raffles, and million-dollar jackpots, the largest 50-50 in professional sports can change your life forever. And every ticket purchase helps more kids, more families, and more communities in need than ever before. Get your 50-50 tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help make OilCountry a better place. Who knows? You could be Alberta's next millionaire.
AGLC license number 744517.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
This is Global News at the second intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. Edmonton police say a 27-year-old man was killed in a two-vehicle collision this morning that left the south leg of the Henday shut down. The man's car had broken down in the far right eastbound lane when a pickup truck slammed into it at a highway speed. Police say a 23-year-old man driving the truck was taken to a hospital as a precaution, with an investigation into the deadly incident continuing. NDP leader Ted Nenshi has sent a letter off to all Alberta MLAs today asking them to go on record about independence. The letter comes as Alberta's separatist movement drew hundreds of supporters in Calgary as organizers gathered signatures for a possible referendum. Nenshi wants all MLAs, including the Premier, to declare whether they're for or against separation. Prime Minister Mark Carney is rolling out a new affordability measure aimed at easing grocery costs for low-income Canadians. Carney says the plan would increase the GST credit by 25% over 5 years, with an additional one-time spring payment. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast will be after the game on 880 CHED.
Steelhaus Triton, two legendary oilfield services brands, one powerful partnership. Rooted in innovation, reliability, and a steadfast commitment to excellence, Steelhaus is proudly 100% Canadian-owned and locally manufactured. With over 15 field service locations across the prairies and up to the Rockies, they deliver world-class energy solutions with unmatched responsiveness, helping their customers thrive in the most demanding environments. Steelhaus Triton, engineered for performance, built in Canada. Visit steelhausinc.com for more information.
If you ever find yourself needing collision repair, CarStar is here to help make accidents unhappen. Any make, any model. That said, there are some accidents CarStar can't make unhappen, such as accidentally waking a hibernating bear, accidentally biting into a raw habanero pepper, accidentally throwing a frisbee at a beehive. CarStar, Canada's trusted collision repair expert, is here to make car accidents unhappen. For a location near you, visit carstar.ca.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Is at the intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Trouba having canceled it out off to Lacombe, and now Paling stumbled and fell. And the Oilers have a 2-on-1. Nurse walks in, shoots and scores. 4-2 Edmonton. Darnell Nurse with his first goal since December the 13th. 7th of the year, makes it 4-2.
It's now 5-3 for the Edmonton Oilers after 40 minutes of play. Let's take a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. The Tampa Bay Lightning beats the Utah Mammoth 2-0. The Rangers got past the Bruins in overtime 4-3, and the Islanders blanked the Philadelphia Flyers 4-0 in Philly. Now, the Bakersfield Condors are playing Wednesday in Henderson against the Silver Knights, and then they'll have two at home against Abbotsford on the weekend, and the Edmonton Oil Kings play on Wednesday night down in Calgary. That's the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Again, we're not locked up, but it is 5-3 for the Oilers here after 40 minutes of play. We'll send it back to Jack and Bob for third period play-by-play. We're at the intermission right now, and this is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
You've been listening to At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
From the first time on skates to wearing a special jersey passed down through generations, Sentinel Storage is here for you. Store your sports gear to create space for all life's adventures. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
It's game on at City Ford.
With an all-star lineup of 2025 Ford favorites, save up to $7,000 on Escapes.
Up to $8,000 on Bronco Sports.
And up to $18,000 on F-150s.
Plus, find 0% financing options available on all 3 vehicles.
Score an all-star deal today and spin and win an iPad, Oilers merch, Costco card, even a trip to Mexico.
Visit City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
Find more ways to save at Real Canadian Superstore. Unlock savings through always low-priced items, multi-save, club size, fresh promise, hit of the month offers, ad match, and more. Find everything you need from grocery staples, fresh produce, prepared meals, and multicultural assortments to clothing, home, entertainment, health, and beauty. Plus, PC Optimum members save more. Open the PC Optimum app to load exclusive super coupons and weekly points offers. Real Canadian Superstore. Proudly Canadian. See weekly flyer for details.
From the first time on skates to wearing a special jersey passed down through generations, Sentinel Storage is here for you. Store your sports gear to create space for all life's adventures. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
5-3 hockey game as we head to the final period. Teams will be skating at even strength as we begin the third. The Draisaitl line out for the Oilers, but Colson and Kapanen as wingers. Defensively, you've got Nurse and Wallman. Oilers, 4 goals from defensemen in a span of 3:49 to break the game open in the second period. Nurse off the draw, one by Draisaitl, rifles one off the tape of Kapanen, and the puck deep in the zone. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you, and after a loose opening 40 minutes, we'll see how Edmonton plays it here in the third. Shot off the rush taken by Trouba is stopped by Jari, and then a second blast by Trouba on an attempted deflection is hammered into Jari's pads. Bob, your exclamations were pertaining to what?
A turnover, unnecessary. You're sitting there up by 2 here. You don't need more goals. You need to manage the puck better yourself.
We're being told unofficially that the 4 goals scored by defensemen in a span of 3:49 is the fastest 4 by defensemen exclusively in the history of the National Hockey League. McDavid to Ekholm, he'll jam it in deep. So it has been a bit of a banner 72 hours for the back end for the Edmonton Oilers. Evan Bouchard single-handedly Saturday against Washington, and the collective tonight for the Oilers. Ekholm has 2 of those goals, and he'll pursue Cutter Gauthier as he drives in from the right-hand side. Couldn't get a shot away. Viel poked the puck loose for a moment, couldn't get a shot off, and then got checked off the puck by Nugent Hopkins. Reverse back behind to Ekholm and on to Jack Roslovic, who makes a move around Ian Moore. And then driving hard to the net was 23-year-old Josh Szymanski.
He almost made that
Lost
play.
the handle.
Oh, that's...
Here's Savoy. Thought he was hooked. Tried to center. That was broken up, and Moore will swing it up the right-hand side. Funneled toward the middle by Kreider. That was broken up. Kreider played it back down low. Moore playing a lot as a forward tonight, even though he's a defenseman by trade. As the Ducks, again, dressing just 11 listed forwards as they're banged up front. Here's a centering pass, and that was driven wide by Killorn off a setup from Seneca, and the rebound popped into Jari's glove as hovering nearby and trying to get his stick on it was Mikael Granlund, who scored a couple on the power play tonight for the Ducks. 2 minutes gone by, third period, 5-3 Edmonton.
Well, Ducks are pushing, and they've kind of pushed themselves back into this game on the shot chart, Jack.
27-26 right now in favor of the Oilers. It's all Ducks early. And then Edmonton took complete command in that second period flurry, with the goals coming from the back end. Driving in from the right-hand side is Matthias Janmark. He'll put the brakes on. A shot sent wide. I mean, we've mentioned Bouchard, but it's also noteworthy. I mean, Jake Wallman would be the next suspect on that list.
Yes, the two best offensive defensemen the Oilers have are not the guys that scored the 4 goals in a row. There hasn't been a lot of times in NHL history where 4 defensemen have scored a period, let alone a period of 4 goals in under 4 minutes.
Wallman taking a stroll with the puck on his stick. Edmonton up 2. Looking to maintain its second place standing and crawl into a first place tie with Vegas. Golden Knights have played fewer games. Here's Lazard to the hole. Quick shot save made. Husso rebound, but Colson couldn't pull the trigger. Rebound eventually grabbed by Kapanen, who was in the mix there. Husso came up with a couple of decent stops, paling up through center, weaving his way in even as he got jackknifed over the boards by Podkolzin. Stretch play by Edmonton, poked back in by Lacombe, and it's an offside whistled against Anaheim. 16:47 left in regulation. Oilers play host to the San Jose Sharks on Thursday night. Bob Stauffer, Cam Moon will have the call, and that's a 7 o'clock Mountain face-off right here at Rogers Place as this epic homestand continues.
And the brilliant Macklin Celebrini looking forward to Jack. You can make an argument with McDavid, McKinnon, and Celebrini. Does Team Canada have the 3 best offensive players at forward going to the Olympics?
Well, I mean, that's 3 of the top 4 scorers in the league.
And the other guys,
Kucherov can't go, so.
I just didn't want to go on the limb there, Jack.
Evidently. Here's Draisaitl. I don't think there's an argument to be made. I think if you look at those players.
All I'm going to tell you is the French judge ruled in favor of the Russians.
Here's Draisaitl at center ice. Pressure comes in from Kreider. Gives it up for Bouchard. Up to Podkolzin. Giving him a look was Minchikov. Now McDavid trying to slither through a seam in that Anaheim defense. Ran into Hellison. And the Ducks are able to rake it up the right-hand side. Alex Killorn. Seneca bumped off his stick. Settled by Lacombe. Trouba gives it back to Lacombe. Left wing Granlund got through Bouchard to the net with a centering pass. Tremendous save on Seneca by Tristan Jarry. Slid over hard, pushing off that right skate. Got it with the left pad. Seneca muscles his way back in. A weak shot on net, kicked out by Jarry. Rebound Lacombe. Trouba pounds it on net, save Jarry. Come on. Here's Lacombe around the boards. Seneca to the net with a backhander and another save by Jarry. Rebound McDavid. Bouchard under control to Ekholm. Lead pass offside. Zach Hyman. Nearly 5 minutes gone by in that third period, but Edmonton with its best players on the ice overwhelmed in its own end, and Tristan Jarry with some terrific work.
Well, Seneca and Granlund have been tremendous, but the Oilers got outworked and outmuscled for loose pucks, and that's what it was. They had chances to make plays and had their sticks lifted and got a grind still.
Here's Savoy up the right-hand side. Gudis Shrugged off his stick, but Zellweger is there. He'll take it behind his own net, give it up for Gudas. Right wing lead pass, Ian Moore playing forward. Paling left wing, shot off the rush, save made by Jari. Edmonton's given up 3 really good scoring chances here in the last 30 seconds. Nurse likely guilty of icing here up the left-hand side. And there's the whistle. Zellweger got back.
Joel Quenneville, as you know, very experienced coach, 3-time Stanley Cup champion, and I think he sees that his team's smelling a little bit of blood right now, trying to work their way back, all the way back from 5-2. It's a 5-3 score, and this is a big draw in the Oilers zone.
Quenneville, quarter century as head coach in the National Hockey League. Not only Chicago, but Colorado, St. Louis, Florida, working his way through the various divisions. And a guy who obviously has this Anaheim team in contention. Here's a quick chance off the draw by Gauthier inside the left faceoff dot. And Tristan Jarry's work in this third period has been his best.
It's been a poor first 6 minutes of this period for Edmonton. Too much chasing.
I still think part of this is a little bit mental for Edmonton, as if the Oilers turned it up in the second period and expected the Ducks to just go away, as they have in prior years. But as Chris Knobloch pointed out to us this morning, Bob, I hope they have our attention. They beat us 3 out of 4 last year. Here's a quick chance again off the rush, and Gauthier can really fire it. Jarry makes a nice stop, and to your point, Bob, the Ducks are hanging in there gamely, even in the face-off circle, which is not one of their strengths. 2 chances in a row off the draw.
Lazar's going to dig in here.
And that time he won one. And man's hurt for the Ducks. Is that Kreider in the corner? No, it's... Someone's down. I think it's Harkins. Yeah, it's Harkins. He's got that jersey tucked in. 4 kind of disappears and morphs into a 0. And I think a skate came up and jammed him right in the chin. Harkins, a longtime member, you may recall the Winnipeg Jets organization. He was in there for nearly a decade.
He was always sort of like a 13th or 14th forward, former Prince George.
Oh, he ran right into the right fist of Stastny. It's not a penalty. Harkins was stumbling and literally fell into Stastny's fist.
Jack, are you surprised that, just speaking of Winnipeg, that they've kind of hit the skids again here?
Well, I didn't think they were as good as what their regular season record was last year, but I certainly didn't think they would tumble to where they're sitting right now.
They started to put together some wins, and now they lost 3 and 4 in a row again here. Look out.
Here's Stastny up the left-hand side, and that's the thing. I mean, in the Western Conference, there's still wild card spots available. And in the Pacific Division, you've got all 3. Top 3 positions are available right now, separated by 3 points coming in. A redirect on net and a save made by Tristan Jarry on Kreider, who was cutting to the net, hacked at by Trouba as the Oilers came the other way. Taken at the Edmonton blue line by Emerson, and then a miscommunication between Frederick and Wallman allows Gauthier to get back on the puck. Big hit on the half wall, absolutely leveled. And now looking to avenge that hit was Mikhail Granlund. Got his stick on a lead pass from Emerson. Here's Seneca, but he lost the handle. Granlund got it back and fired wide glove side. And it's extremely sloppy here in the third. Wallman a drive-by. Killorn with a puck now in the right circle. One-timer Hellison redirected dangerously just wide. I think that was Granlund again in the slot. And he just redirected it wide. Edmonton fortunate to be up 5-3 here. Killorn loading up. No shot. No lane against Wallman. Minchikov will give it back to him. Here's Seneca, point-blank left circle, and another tough save made by Tristan Jarry. Rebound, Minchikov after another failed clearing attempt. Now another steal, and this time Frederick's going to skate it out of the zone. And the way Edmonton's managed the puck in this third period, he's brutal. Wise to.
And his line just had 3 chances to clear. They didn't get it out.
Minchikov up the right-hand side. The shots in this period right now are 10 for the Ducks and 1 for the Oilers. And I know part of that is score effects, but it's self-inflicted here by Edmonton. Again, a failed clear by Podkolzin. Zellweger tried to center. Ross Johnston around the boards. Lunging play by Gudis, but he can't maintain the zone, and Podkolzin took it away from him. Husso anticipating that, shoveled it up to Gudis and up the right-hand side beyond the reach of Ian Moore. He'll knock it down at center. This is offside against the Ducks. Moore could not hold his position at the Edmonton line. A sloppy 8 minutes turned in by Edmonton with a 2-goal lead at the outset of the period. But Tristan Jarry has been terrific. 11 third-period stops already, and we barely played 8 minutes. More third-period play-by-play when we come back to Rogers Place. Edmonton 5, Anaheim 3. The Oilers Radio Network.
Switching energy plans? You deserve a break. From admin fees, that is. New ACO Energy customers can go admin fee-free for 6 months on a fixed plan. Lock in stable rates with ACO Energy and save up to $130 when you bundle 2 fuels. Switching is quick and easy. Visit ACOenergy.com to sign up in minutes. Conditions apply. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822, toll-free in Alberta.
Going back to school can be as scary as taking the winning shot, but it doesn't have to be. Northern Lakes College is here to help you meet all your goals and cheer you on. Explore programs in academic upgrading, apprenticeship trades, business and administrative studies, health, human services careers, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of programming available through continuing education. Score a great future with Northern Lakes College. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. What's stopping you?
It's a new era for Ford in Edmonton. Welcome to Big West Ford. Located westbound on Stony Plain Road just east of the Henday, Big West Ford is Edmonton's newest and most exciting Ford dealership. Whether you're after the legendary F-150, the powerhouse 350 Super Duty, or the adventurous Bronco, they've got you covered with exceptional selection and service right here in your city. Big West Ford, driven by you. Visit Big West Ford at 18208 Stony Plain Road or online at bigwestford.com.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Tristan Jarry has held sway here in the third period as Edmonton leads 5-3. Oilers have been shaky in their own end. Anaheim has dominated the zone time here in the third. Here's a chance, though, and a stop by Husso on Zach Hyman after a little setup from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. The puck was flipped through the neutral zone by Bouchard. And a nice play by Nugent-Hopkins to chip it ahead for Hyman. He was robbed by the glove hand of Husso. And just like that, the Oilers almost put the game out of reach.
Well, the Oilers had a bunch of chances after his 5-2 jack to add a 6th goal, and they couldn't, including Szymanski missing an open net.
Stretch play looking for Kreider. He's able to push Ekholm off the puck. A drive taken, but deflected out of play. Ekholm got his stick in the lane, is absolutely loading up to launch. That time was Harkins.
In fairness, Szymanski didn't miss the net. He just didn't hammer it home. And Jackson Lacombe pulled one off the line.
I mean, that had decent pace on it. I was surprised Lacombe's stick. He had a good grip of the stick, because if he's just reaching out there, it probably wobbles off his stick and into the back of the net. And Lacombe was hard on the play, stopped it right at the goal line. So as a result, 5-3.
This game is not over. Edmonton's still got a lot of work to do here, Jack.
Well, it's not over because in part of the way Edmonton's playing. Here's Trouba from Lacombe. A shot dribbled off the pads of Jarry, kept alive by Trouba for a moment. Bouchard over to make a play on it to Nugent-Hopkins and shoveled ahead for Hyman. In the right corner, he'll go in against Lacombe, who took the puck for the Ducks up to Seneca. The rookie through the neutral zone looking for Granlund. Nice play by Connor McDavid, backtracking defensively, and then iced by the Oilers' Matthias Ekholm. So bring the faceoff back in the Edmonton zone. And the Oilers, a lot of miscues here in the third period, giving Anaheim ample opportunity to get back in it. Tristan Jarry's been terrific. In many ways, this might be his best period as an Oiler. Considering the looks mostly from beneath the dot spot. Off the draw, Minchikov forcing down low for Paling. Puck came free. Ian Moore banged it off the side of the net. He'll try to stay with it. Moore's playing a lot here in the third period. Ekholm, Nugent Hopkins trying to stick handle his way out of danger to Bouchard. Chip off the boards, held in for a moment by Ross Johnston, but the Oilers will chisel that one loose and back to center. Paling across, Hellison to Johnston. He'll shovel it in. Ekholm up the right-hand side. Hyman checked by Zellweger, and again, the Oilers forced back into their own end. They can't get the puck out. Hyman can barely get to the bench. Bouchard, who's seemingly been out there the entire third period, up to Szymanski, and wired in deep by Savoy. Roslovic to Stastny up top. Slings one behind the net. Zellweger got himself in trouble against Savoy. Roslovic putting pressure on Gudas, who's able to skate his way out of danger, rifle a pass too hard for Kreider to handle left wing, and it turns into an icing call with 9:54 remaining in the third period. And Edmonton still on top 5-3 despite a suspect third period.
I wonder whether or not the fourth line loses a rotation here after they were hemmed up in their zone and turned 3 pucks over 3 shifts ago.
Draisaitl put Colson and Kapanen out for this ozone draw. Face-off win, Washy. But the puck hit him on its way out of the zone, which gives the Oilers a second chance. Wallman under pressure is Kapanen. Puck floats free. Kreider, left-hand side. Backhands it across. Granlund, little spin move, but the puck stripped from him by Podkolzin. Solid defensive work. Wallman to Nurse. Draisaitl the puck carrier. Little give and go with Kapanen, and Draisaitl's loose. Podkolzin back to Kapanen, right circle. Little out of his reach. Nurse's shot. That was deflected up on the plexi. Beyond the reach of Draisaitl. He's caught back in the zone, and here comes Anaheim looking to take advantage. Seneca hit hard twice by Podkolzin. Granlund with Draisaitl on him. Killorn tried to give it back to Granlund, but Draisaitl had established inside position and stole the puck. Podkolzin gives it up for Nurse. Return to Wallman. He'll circle again. Granlund knew where he was going, but so did Wallman. Up the boards to Savoy. Left wing against Hellison. 8:40 remaining in the third period. And the Ducks over the last couple of minutes have been stymied a bit offensively. This is going to be another icing call whistled against Anaheim with 8.5 to go in the third, and maybe Edmonton finally has this game settled down to a more comfortable point.
And the fourth line did miss a rotation through. One thing with Szymanski, he can jack. He's 6'2.5", but he's not a slow big man. He can move his feet. And there's a lot of speed on this line with Savoy and Roslovic and Szymanski. But you have a natural center in Szymanski.
Clear up the right-hand side, not out. Savoy down low to Roslovic. Szymanski kept it going for Roslovic. Poked away from Savoy, who got another defensive or offensive zone penalty. Just chopped down, and it's a no-doubter. Jansen Harkins. And Bob, as you made the point earlier, when Gudas was coming out of the zone, these aren't guys that are going to hurt you. 8:17 to go in the third period. Savoy angry at himself. He's taken a no-zone penalty, Edmonton's third of the night. And when we come back, Anaheim will be on the power play, looking to cut the lead. It's Edmonton 5, Anaheim 3. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
To the fans who bleed orange and blue, never miss a game, and are always on the edge of their seat. Show your passion for the Oilers and cheer on the team at Molson Oilers Game Day Live. Attend throughout the season for your chance to win 2026-27 Edmonton Oilers season seats. Be there for the next Game Day Live event on January 29th at Fargo's on 50th. For the full event schedule and to RSVP to the Ultimate Oilers Watch Party, visit OilersGameDayLive.com.
40 years strong in Western Canada, Pizza 73 has been serving up the pizza you crave. From their famous pan pizzas and golden crispy wings to bold new creations like stuffed crust and the all-new volcano pizza, they keep bringing the flavor. Born in OilCountry, made in OilCountry, they're proud to be serving Edmonton since 1985. Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Order now at pizza73.com.
Hey folks, Paul Brandt here. Around these parts, we work hard, play hard, and we demand the best. Sometimes you need a truck that's a cut above. The Ford Super Duty. Tough enough for any job with the style and luxury you deserve. It's as powerful as it is refined, with cutting-edge features that make every drive a pleasure. In short, this ain't your everyday pickup. The Ford Super Duty. Drive the finest truck Alberta has to offer today at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PV sent you.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Well, another offensive zone penalty against Edmonton. It's third of the night. And as we bring you back to our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, this game's still in the balance. 5-3 Oilers, more than 8 minutes remaining. Lazar won a face-off, but the Oilers couldn't come up with possession. Gauthier had it poked away. That, I thought, came outside the line. Then Lazar did too. But it's ruled onside, and Jackson Lacombe now will go to work for Anaheim. DAP Auto Parts penalty kill, just 1 for 3 tonight. Anaheim's gotten a pair, both scored by this man, Mikhail Granlund. In the left corner. He'll give it up for Lacombe. He'll walk the line. Jackson Lacombe. Saucered through Granlund. This is going to be a clear for the Oilers. And Bouchard, Wiley keeps it on his stick for an extra few seconds and then pumps it down the right-hand side. Minute 15 to go in the man advantage. Here's Lacombe up to center. McDavid on. Pressure at the line. Relieved Zellweger of puck possession, then a poor pass intended for Granlund. That was a fatigue type of play made by Seneca, but he snatches it back at center. Remember, Anaheim on the second of a back-to-back. McDavid just misses Nugent Hopkins, and that puck will sail just long enough for Lacombe to come over and angle Nugent Hopkins off the puck. Jackson Lacombe poked off his stick as he hit the line. Granlund did well to get it in deep, but Anaheim has no pressure. Hard rim by Nurse. Knocked down by Chris Kreider. Centering pass Seneca, and it slid off his backhand. Granlund waiting. Right circle, he'll give it up. Nurse didn't really need to release that puck. He wasn't under any pressure. And now Anaheim has Edmonton on its heels a bit. Centering pass Lacombe. He'll look to give it up for Seneca. Nice play by Wallman to poke it away. Cross Seamer. Loading up, shooting and scoring. It's a hat trick from Mikhail Granlund. He cuts it to 5-4 with 6:22 to play.
Well, this team has belief right now, and the Oilers are helping give it to them. I mean, this has been an awful third period from Edmonton. Darnell Nurse has the puck directly behind his net. Anaheim was preparing to make changes if the Oilers could vacate the zone, but Colson was going for a long stretch, and Nurse hard-banked one off the glass, and the Ducks sealed the wall. And Granlund has had the number, and Tristan Jarry. By the way, Granlund, a little bit of time in Pittsburgh. Seen a little bit of trend here with some of these former Penguins.
How about Seneca with that cross-seam pass?
Yeah, well,
get it through traffic.
He's been fantastic.
2 primaries on the Granlund power play goals, and it's now 5-4. Edmonton seemingly had total command of this game, and the Oilers, quite frankly, have managed the puck poorly, and they've taken a couple of mindless penalties. Sent in deep, Vial. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. That's his 3rd career hat trick from Mikhail Granlund, a 14-year pro, and the emphasis on pro. And Anaheim's added them with Trouba, Kreider, Granlund. This man, Ryan Poehling, with a puck after an Edmonton dump in. And it's complemented a young, talented core and made Anaheim a contender along with their head coach, Joel Quenneville. 5.5 to go. Zellweger up the left-hand side. Chipped in by Washi. As Edmonton found out a decade ago, maybe more, all your players can't be inexperienced. You need complementary vets who are also productive, and that's what Anaheim's added. A dump in, Hyman checked hard by Lacombe, but he stayed with it and moved it up the boards to Woolman. Now McDavid right circle, feeds Woolman a shot, save Husso, rebound Trouba. That's just the third shot on goal of the period for Edmonton, and we're more than 15 minutes in. Lead pass out of the reach of Hyman, maybe icing, and Lacombe got there just in time. 4:38 to go in the third. Granlund with a hat trick, all 3 goals coming on the power play, and now we've got a 5-4 game with Edmonton hanging on.
Just an awful night from Edmonton's PK, and 2 of the 3 power play goals late in the penalty kill.
They've given up 3 coming into the game. They've given up 4 in their last 16. By the way, give Lacombe a second assist on that last power play goal. Off the draw, Edmonton able to gain control. Here's Nurse up to center, shoots it in with 4.5 to go. Drew Hellison on the puck for Anaheim after the dump in. Sends it over. Lead pass Minchikov. Turned over by Granlund at center. Forced off a stick, and now the Ducks get it in deep one more time. Seneca around the boards. The entire third period seemingly has been played in Edmonton's end. Lead pass Draisaitl. He'll bump it up for Kapanen. Oilers had it poke checked at the line. So now the Ducks with control. Granlund looking for Killorn. Off his stick, and Bouchard will send it back in. This is Olen Zellweger. 3:45 to go in the third. Mishandling the puck, Cutter Gauthier. Zellweger to Gudas. Up the right-hand side. I don't think Kreider got a piece of that. And a bit of a mistake there by the Ducks. Icing with 3:36 to go in the third. Edmonton 5, Anaheim 4. Regardless of the result, Bob, I think there's going to be some video work put in by the Oilers over the next 72 hours before this matchup with San Jose.
100%.
I think you'd agree with me. This has not been a well-played game by Edmonton.
Edmonton's lucky.
Off the face-off, Kreider lost the handle. Lazar up top. Emberson to Stastny. Off the boards, Zellweger. Sent around the boards, getting a stick on it was Kreider. Emberson does a nice job of keeping it in. Stastny back down low. Janmark was checked off the puck by Zellweger, and here come the Ducks. Cutter Gauthier, who's been quiet tonight, has had some good looks, but has not managed to beat Tristan Jarry. He'll get it in deep. Emberson, hard check on Paling. Well done by Lazar. Lead pass. Oh, a big hit on Janmark by Lacombe. Stepped right into him. And Janmark going hard after Jackson Lacombe. Got away with a bit of a whack there. Ducks back into the zone. Here's a pass intended for Vial that pinballed off a man. Vial able to get it and try to center. And that was deflected away. Oilers fortunate. Pitchforked out of the zone by Janmark. Trouba up to Ian Moore. He'll bang it in. 2.5 minutes remaining. We'll keep an eye on Husso. Minchikov with a steal. A shot. Sharp angle, and Jarry wasn't sure he had it. Pinned against his right hip. And now Bouchard and Ekholm will attempt to clear the crease as Anaheim's Jeff Vial crowding that Edmonton net.
Jarry was so deep in his crease there. For a second, Jack, I thought that went in the net.
Had it pinned near his right hip with 2:19 to go in the third period. We'll take time out. When we come back, Husso likely to be on the bench sooner rather than later. The Ducks still trail by a goal. Edmonton trying to hang on, up 5-4, late third period at Rogers Place. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. but they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
During every Oilers game day, the Canadian Brewhouse is your hockey headquarters. Cheer on the blue and orange, surrounded by fans as passionate as you are, while sipping $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. And that's not all. Every game day, you can enter to win Oilers home game tickets. So grab your crew, grab a seat, and make the Canadian Brewhouse your go-to spot this hockey season. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Back here for the final 2:19 of period 3. Edmonton's lead once 5-2 down to 5-4. Billy Husso on the bench. Leon Draisaitl against Grayland in the face-off circle to Jari's right-hand side. Shots 13-3 here in the third period. Draisaitl won the face-off. Golfed out of the zone by Hyman. McDavid pressure on Alex Killorn, who's able to shield him from the puck, but then turn it over. Bouchard to Hyman. Net is empty. McDavid shoots, and that was deflected wide. And the rebound, Seneca. McDavid had the empty net, but hit a stick on its way there. Killorn will shoot it in, and the Ducks pour in 6-on-5. Bouchard up to Draisaitl, serves it up the boards. McDavid will catch up to it and score. 6-4 Edmonton, a minute 48 to play. And Draisaitl, the presence of mind to throw a puck into an open area and let the fastest skater in the game reel it in.
Well, Bouchard makes a real depth play back in his own zone, too. And Leon, as you mentioned, with the old bank shot off the boards.
Lacombe had saved it initially, but that time had no chance to catch up to McDavid. Empty netter at 18-12 of the third. And for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, well, they've had banner nights against Anaheim before. McDavid with 2 points, Draisaitl with 3. And that gives them 77 points in their last 17 games against Anaheim. Husso to the bench. Shot from distance, stopped by Jari. Rebound, Lacombe, right circle. Centering pass, tipped over the net. Lacombe up top. Seneca, shot, blocked. Rebound, Nurse, trying to muscle it outside, can't do it. Draisaitl and Bouchard with the assists on McDavid's 33rd of the year and empty netter. Lacombe. Down low, Seneca. Inside. Good tie-up by Wallman on the stick of Paling. Drive Trouba. Save Jari. He's been peppered in this third period, and he's going to be a big reason why Edmonton wins this hockey game. 50 seconds to go. Trouba tries to force it through heavy traffic. Wallman picked it off the glass, got it through Trouba. And that will officially do it. Anaheim's got to change. Time continues to run. We're down to 35 seconds. Granlund with a hat trick, though likely in defeat. Wristed around the boards. Killorn on his backhand. Granlund couldn't settle it down. Seneca had the hat trick last night in Calgary. Up top for Zellweger, 20 seconds to go. Centering pass, pinballed in to the pads of Jari. He's got it long enough to generate a whistle with 15.8 to go in the game. And Edmonton having salted this one away and moved into a first-place tie atop the Pacific Division. They'll push Anaheim down a bit. As the Oilers separate themselves from the Ducks, they'll be 3 points ahead of the young challengers after tonight.
Give Anaheim credit. They played a hell of a game on the second of a back-to-back without 3 of their top 5 forwards.
Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman to finish it. 16 seconds to go. Draisaitl wins the draw. Ekholm will wire it toward the empty net. Bullseye. Hat trick. Matthias Ekholm. And after 20 years without a hat trick from a defenseman, the Oilers have gotten one in back-to-back games. Bouchard on Saturday night, and tonight Matthias Ekholm for the first hat trick of his NHL career. Prior to Saturday, Marc-Andre Bergeron had been the last Oiler defenseman with a hat trick.
What a crazy, bizarre night. 5 goals from your defense. Clean face-off win from Leon. And Ekholm makes a 200-foot shot for his hat-trick goal.
And dead center. I mean, that shot had no chance to miss. So 2 empty net goals in the final minute 37 have turned this into a 7-4 game. And as they retrieve the headgear, Ekholm, who came into tonight's game with 3 goals on the year, he'll leave with 6.
What a wild one.
20 years between hat tricks, and you get 2 in back-to-back games.
That's hockey. I mean, they did a lot of really good things. Leon right now has the lone assist. Bouchard a second assist on the McDavid empty netter from Draisaitl. So Leon's up to a 4-point night.
Which is no surprise. He's got 37 points in his last 17 games against Anaheim. McDavid with the empty net goal and an assist now has 41 points in his last 17. A few more hats come flying onto the ice.
You know, those get expensive when you buy them here, but the good thing is that you go buy another one.
You're a company man.
Yeah, well, helps the league as a whole, Jack.
Szymanski lining up against Washington. The Edmonton Oilers are the first team in the history of the National Hockey League to have defensemen score hat tricks in back-to-back games. One more hat comes onto the ice. It won't matter. The Oilers jam it down the right-hand side. Garrett Rank almost stepped on the hat. He's got it. And the Oilers have 2 points in the bank. And in the first of 3 meetings against Anaheim, Edmonton shoves the Ducks back. They take a 3-point lead on the Ducks and just as importantly climb back into a first-place tie atop the Pacific Division. And what a turnaround. 48 hours ago, the Oilers were a minute away from suffering a 3rd straight loss at home. It would have been their 7th in 9 games. Now, it's a 3-2 homestand, and you're back atop the division. But, Bob, work to be done before San Jose comes calling on Thursday.
They got to figure out the penalty killing. Washington got him for 1 out of 5. You know, Tristan Jarry's not going to get a start tonight.
I thought he played, and I thought his third period was his best as an Oiler.
He saved them tonight. He saved them. They got, what was the shot? 16-5 in the third for Anaheim. Jarry gave up 1 late in the power play on a night where Granlund had the hot stick going for the Anaheim Ducks. Jarry was terrific. The Oilers got to play a lot better than what we saw tonight. 4-assist performance tonight from Leon. He'll take the win, but a lot of teachable moments for Chris Knobloch.
I was going to say, Bob, we'll quickly go down ringside with Spencer Stastny, whose first point as an Oiler turns out to be a goal that ties the game, and Edmonton never looked back. He's standing by with our Aiden Gannon.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Spencer, maybe not the most complete win of the year, but a successful win and a strong one. Just take me through the game from your eyes.
Yeah, I think, we wanted a nice bounce-back game. We wanted something to feel good about, and I think we got that tonight. He got a little scared at the end, but Sammy's first game, exciting. Eki with 3 goals. I mean, we keep it interesting for these guys. So, I think it's an exciting one, and we're just going to enjoy it and try to keep rolling.
A goal for you in this one. 4 individual defensemen picked up points in a 3-minute span in the second period. You mentioned it. Ekholm with a hat trick. Bouchard with a hat trick in the last one. Yeah. Just what's been working so well for the defense offensively?
Yeah, I think it's just funneling pucks to the net. And, Doc and Eki are joining the rush and getting goals up there. So, no, it's just being active and knowing when to go. And, it's going in right now. It's pretty exciting.
Thanks, Spencer.
Thank you.
Guys.
Well, I think Spencer Stassi with a bit of an understatement.
Yes, that's the word.
Bit of a sheepish Matthias Ekholm on the bench right now, talking with one of our colleagues in the aftermath of his first career hat trick. Edmonton 7, Anaheim 4. That's the feel-good part of the evening, Bob. But what do you look for in the matchup on Thursday night with San Jose, where the Sharks are relentless offensively, much like the Anaheim Ducks? They're an improved club. They're a challenger in the Pacific. What do you expect with more fresh meat coming to Edmonton?
Well, you're using the term fresh meat, but they've got, the filet mignon on their in their lineup. I'm really looking forward to Macklin Celebrini. They got some other guys going that right now as well. They're an exciting team to watch. Like Anaheim, they have toughness in their lineup as well. And I thought at times Anaheim leaned a bit on Edmonton's forwards. The Oilers are going to have to play infinitely better than they did tonight. There's no long-term sustainable model for success if you're giving up the caliber of opportunities that Edmonton did tonight in this victory.
With that said, how do you think things will shake out between now and Thursday in terms of what they'll look at? I mean, will they look at video? Will there be lineup changes? What options are there for Chris Knobloch?
I don't see it. You see any lineup changes? I love Szymanski's game. I mean, he didn't play a lot tonight. I think he ended up, with a total of under 8 minutes, which isn't ideal, given that you won by 3 goals, but it was a closer game than that. I keep the same lineup going, but Jack, they got to shore up the they got to shore up the PK here. They got touched up, and teams are smart enough to see what Edmonton was doing.
Now, they had been on a roll. You don't consider that a one-off?
No, I did not like what I saw tonight for Edmonton. How about Draisaitl? 7 assists in the last 2 games. Penalty killing gave up too many looks from the flanks. Right, they were getting the Oilers dragged out high and then creating some low 2-on-1 looks. And Granlund had a sniper's evening. I mean, we saw Justin Sourdif just scored absolute great goal. You have to give him credit for it. By the way, in the last game, when Connor Ingram got pulled at 3-1, I think Chris Knobloch thought he gave that straight up. He didn't realize that the puck hit Spencer Stastny's his stick. I
agree with you.
Right, and I think that we're going to see Connor Ingram get the start against the San Jose Sharks. But I am here to tell you, I'll be very disappointed if the Oilers are as loose and as porous defensively as they were tonight in the third period.
Well, I think if they are, they're likely going to get a different result.
Yeah, there's no sustainable model where you consistently win games playing the way Edmonton did tonight.
40 shots against for the Edmonton Oilers. As Bob mentioned, it was a 16-5 spread in the third period. And the 40 shots against are the second most that the Oilers have allowed this year. They have not been a team that's given up a ton of shots. The other situation where they gave up 40-plus was also a victory in Winnipeg by a score of 3-1 when Calvin Pickard was outstanding with 41 saves.
And he was brilliant that night. And the Jets, here's the difference between the Jets and Anaheim.
The Jets had no mojo going into that game.
This team is feeling it.
Yes.
That's part of why they were able to hang around tonight. Is because
they didn't play great either.
No.
This game, I think both teams will have plenty to work on heading into their next outings. As we've talked about, Anaheim on the second of a back-to-back, and they will finish up their road trip. They're in the midst of a long one. They'll get 2 days off, as will Edmonton, before they hook up with Vancouver on Thursday night. In between, San Jose will take on the Canucks tomorrow night, and then it's Edmonton, San Jose for the first time this season. The Oilers right now with a share of first place. Again, it's, not a situation where you necessarily love to critique wins. The last 2 victories coming by a combined score of 13-9. Edmonton will take it. and the Oilers now 27-19-8. Tristan Jarry improves his record to 6-2-1 as an Oiler, 15-5-2 on the season. He ends up turning aside 36 shots tonight. Ville Husso was lit up for 5 goals tonight on 30 shots. The key sequence, again, the 4 goals in less than 4 minutes, all by defensemen. That's the first time in the history of the National Hockey League that defensemen have scored 4 goals in that rapid succession. Draisaitl, as Bob mentioned, with back-to-back playmakers tonight with 4 assists. On Saturday, he had 3. So he's all the way up to 74 points. And Connor McDavid with a ho-hum empty netter to seal it to go along with an assist. He now leads the league with 92 points. He's also had a 7-point outburst in the last 2 games. Oilers, Sharks on Thursday night. Bob Stauffer, Cam Moon will have it for you. Face-off time, 7 o'clock locally here at Rogers Place. Until then, for Bob and Brendan Escott and Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Rogers. The final score, Edmonton 7, Anaheim 4. The Oilers in a first-place tie with the Vegas Golden Knights. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers postgame show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Nugent Hopkins got drilled, took the hit to make the play to McDavid. Quickly, Ekholm back in front, and he scores. Set up by Hyman. Tic-tac-toe. And what a finish by Ekholm. Another 2-on-1. Ekholm walks in, shoots, and scores. And Anaheim is leaking odd man rushes against. What a night for the back end. 16 seconds to go. Draisaitl wins the draw. Ekholm will wire it toward the empty net. Bullseye. Hat trick. Matthias Ekholm. And after 20 years without a hat trick from a defenseman, the Oilers have gotten one in back-to-back games. Bouchard on Saturday night, and tonight, Matthias Ekholm.
Well, Jack said it. Hat-tricks on back-to-back nights from their defensemen, and as we found out, first time in NHL history that's occurred. The Oilers with 4 defense goals in under 4 minutes in the second period. That's the fastest in NHL history that's occurred. You can never. I remember when Marc-Andre Bergeron got a hat-trick, and it had to do in part because of how the game was managed back then. That was the year that they called all the obstruction penalties. And if I recall correctly, 2 of the 3 goals that Bergeron scored were 5-on-3 goals. So a little bit different time right now. They don't call as many of those. But Evan Bouchard with a brilliant performance on Saturday, 3 goals and 6 points. And if I had told you after that game on Saturday night that, oh, by the way, the Oilers would score 5 defense goals on Monday, and Bouchard would not score one of them, you would have called me crazy. Well, guess what? Ekholm with a hat trick. You heard all 3 calls. Spencer Stastny and Darnell Nurse and the Edmonton Oilers get the victory. And that is the highlight zone for Century Casino, all in all games all season. Century Casino's 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the Winter Zone. From the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, the Oilers have knocked off the Ducks 7-4, and this is the Rogers postgame show.
As the new year begins, Freedom Ford invites customers to start 2026 with confidence. Freedom Ford is offering deals on remaining 2025 Ford models with limited time incentives, lease specials, and the return of low financing. Customers can come see the new 2026 Ford models, from the spacious Ford Explorer to the top safety-rated Ford F-150. Freedom Ford showcases vehicles built for winter roads, weekend travel, and everyday reliability. Come on by today and see the complete Ford lineup today at Freedom Ford.
At Northern Lakes College, students work, raise their family, and complete their certificate, diploma, or partnership degree. With NLC's supported distance learning model, you can do it all in a flexible online classroom. Explore a variety of programs from academic upgrading to university studies, including a wide range of programming available through continuing education. Skate into your new career in a learning environment that works for you. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Learn where you live.
This
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Killorn will shoot it in, and the Ducks pour in 6 on 5. Bouchard up to Draisaitl, serves it up the boards. McDavid will catch up to it and score. 6-4 Edmonton, a minute 48 to play. And Draisaitl, the presence of mind to throw a puck into an open area and let the fastest skater in the game reel it in.
And that's the Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance goal of the game. Health, dental, travel. We got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. We have the Rogers postgame show. The Oilers have knocked off Anaheim 7-4. It was not a Picasso. Here is our inside the game analyst, Rob Brown. Rob, your assessment in tonight's game.
Well, I think this is a lot like we saw in the last game for the Edmonton Oilers. They score enough, and they take full advantage of playing. I mean, the one thing everyone talks about the Oilers getting the teams on the second at back-to-back and the advantage they have because the other team's coming in tired. Well, that's a fallacy. These players are in such good shape nowadays, back-to-back games do not affect them. The advantage the Oilers get is they keep getting the backup goaltenders. Yeah. The other night against Washington, he's not letting in 6 goals. Logan Thompson, if he's starting. And then tonight, you get Ville Husso, who is not even close to the numbers of Lucas Dostal. So the Oilers have benefited playing teams' backup goaltenders. And they've needed to because the Oilers have not been great defensively. 9 goals against in 2 games. And this 4 goals against tonight against Anaheim. And Anaheim, as you and Jack alluded to, shot 16-5 in the third period. We're by far the better team. And they're missing the 3 of their 4 best forwards. So this was not good enough defensively. Now, it's a win. And you like the fact that some of the goals they scored were things that were the Oilers were doing earlier in the season where they're turning the puck over in bad place, bad puck management. The Ducks did that all night long tonight, and the Oilers took advantage of it. And what you loved about it, Ekholm goes down on a 2-on-1, thinks shot, scores. Darnell Nurse goes down a 3-on-1, thinks shot, scores. That's what you want from players outside of Connor and Leon is a shot-first mentality, and the Oilers, especially their defensemen, had that tonight.
All right, 5 goals from their D. Matthias Ekholm. He was -9 at one point this year, Rob. He's +18 on the season now.
Well, he's a star defenseman. This is what you expect. He's out on the ice with Connor McDavid's line a lot, and they score a lot. So you're going to get some bonus pluses. But he's a solid defenseman, and I love the fact that there was no hesitation on that last shot for the open net. A solid, more of a defensive defenseman. Doesn't get a lot of opportunities. Obviously, this is his first one for a hat trick. Good play right there. And what I love about him, right in the middle of the net. There was no doubt from the time it left his stick that was going in. Good on him. It was another strong performance by him. But you talked about Tristan Jarry in the third period allowing the Oilers to win this hockey game. Again, this is a game he gave up 4. So you give up 4 goals, yet you still play good. The Oilers have a lot of things to clean up defensively.
100%. Szymanski, 7:43 tonight, 3-1 in the face-off circle.
Well, the problem he looked good. He looked comfortable. The problem is, unless you're in the top 6, you don't play.
Yeah.
You don't. And this is Savoy will get minutes because he penalty kills.
Well, this guy was on the right side of the puck, Rob, all game.
He was smart. He should have had a goal. I mean, I felt for him. Any other time it goes in. Jackson Lacombe, incredible defenseman, makes the play there. He had another chance, just bounce off a stick in the opposite end. Yeah. He looked comfortable. The problem for Oilers bottom 6 players is if they're not a penalty killer, you can't find ice time for them. And that is the biggest fault, and that's why Trent Frederick has a hard time getting traction. He only plays 5-on-5, and the fourth line doesn't play very much. But I think you need to continue to give Szymanski a look because you got 9 games until the trade deadline. What do you need at the trade deadline?
Well, you certainly need to give him a look, Rob, until now between the Olympic break, because the Oilers are going to have a cap issue.
Yes, they are.
Okay, once Adam Henrique comes back, which is after the Olympic break. So we have the game Thursday against San Jose, Saturday against Mini, and then they got the Leafs and Flames on a back-to-back. That's 4 games left. I want Szymanski back down in Bakersfield playing during the... wait, he's going to Germany. What am I talking about?
I think he'd much rather be not going to Germany. He's going to Italy.
Well, he's representing Germany in Italy.
Yes.
There's something there with the player.
You know
that's what's clear.
I agree. You know what I would like to see, though? I would like to see pull 97 off the penalty kill and put Szymanski out there. See if he's capable of... Because if you're going to play bottom six, you've got to find another role. Can Szymanski kill at this level?
He kills in the minors.
That's what I mean.
He takes all their key draws in the minors, Rob.
So give him the opportunity.
Here's the advantage. In people, they're blowing how they're handling Isaac Howard. No, they're not. Because Isaac Howard, by this time next year, is likely to be in the Edmonton Oilers top six. Because he has to be and Matt Savoy... Because
Matt Savoy's going to be a third-line player.
He'll be, at minimum, a third line. He's going to be a middle six forward. I will assert to you that Howard has a chance to be a top six forward.
He's got better offensive instincts than Savoy.
Right, and then we look at Szymanski, and he's either going to be a third or fourth line center next year. And what we're seeing tonight, I think you would agree with me, I know it's just one game, but we saw a guy who can think and process the game and get there.
Well, he's got speed, and that's why, for me, the next 4 games, let him penalty kill.
Yeah.
Give him an opportunity to show if he's capable of doing that, because that will save you on trade deadline, going out and finding a guy like Szymanski.
Was Connor on the ice for any of the PK goals against? I don't think he was.
Oh, he's a fantastic penalty killer.
He might have,
well, again, a superstar in this league. They're all around the league. Eichel does, Stone does, Marner.
The Lazar-Janmark tandem had a tough night on the PK. They also had one brutal shift in the start of the third.
Oh, God, yes.
That was and they did not see the ice again 5-on-5 for about 6 minutes real time in the game.
Well, that's why I'd give Szymanski a look. And the other thing, too, and I know you pointed it out, at the Oilers penalty, and it was Darnell Nurse. The entire bench was yelling time. He's got to get that puck out on that one. That gave he
tried to make a play to put Coles in on a break, and instead and you know what? Anaheim relied on Guile tonight. I mean, and by the way, Seneca,
he's good. Well, how about what Canada? Everyone was talking about Canada at the World Juniors, how they failed this year. Imagine the players at Seneca and Celebrini.
Canada did fail at the World Juniors last year too. How in the hell did they not have a third overall pick of the draft? And they sat there and had a bunch of second and third rounders on their team. But when you focus on building a team with the 19-year-olds instead of building the best team, it's not you don't get years of service. It's not a union to make the World Junior team.
He's talented. I watched the game last night. The Calgary Flames. The goal he scored, the top shot. He's talented. And I know that you and Jack talked about it earlier, how Jackson Lacombe wasn't on the original roster for Team U. He is good.
He's good.
And physical and skate. He's really good.
Right now, Bouchard's leading all defensemen and scoring the league with 56 points. He's not on Team Canada.
True.
And and again, if I told you, Bouch 3-3-6 on Saturday. Oh, the Oilers are going to score 5 defense goals on Monday night, and Bouchard's not going to get one of them. You would have taken that action all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I certainly would have. But it was a good night. It's one of those ones, Bob, that you're happy to watch video because you won the game, but there's video that needs to be watched because there's things you got to fix.
100%. All right, Rob, we'll talk to you Thursday.
Sounds good, Bob.
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Rogers is Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network, so you can stream Edmonton Oilers games and see Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Ty tie things up in Tofield. Unbelievable! Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even catch Boosh Bombs in Beaumont. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, this is our game.
From backyard rinks to big arenas under bright lights, electricity powers every moment. At Capital Power, we generate reliable, affordable electricity for OilCountry and beyond, powering innovation, opportunity, and thriving economies across North America. Just like our Edmonton Oilers, we're driven, determined, and lighting up the game. We're powering change by changing power. Get to know us at capitalpower.com.
Our people, our team. It's what business owners almost always say is their most important resource. But strong businesses don't just find great people. They make sure their teams stay healthy, engaged, and performing at their best. A benefits plan from Alberta Blue Cross is more than just drug and dental. They support the whole person with flexible coverage levels that fit the size and circumstance of your business. Find a plan that gets results at ab.bluecross.ca.
You're tuned in to the Rogers postgame show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 880 CHAD, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's go to the Pizza 73 out-of-town scoreboard. Pizza 73 is the official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. The New York Rangers, who earlier in the day traded Carson Soucy to crosstown rival the New York Islanders. The Rangers knock off the Boston Bruins 4-3 in overtime. The Islanders, meanwhile, shut out Philadelphia 4-0. Tampa Bay shuts out Utah 2-0. Edmonton Oil Kings last night beat Saskatoon 5-1. They hit the road for a few games coming up. Bakersfield Condors dropped the pair on the weekend after starting January 8-0-1. And Wednesday night they host Henderson. That is the Vegas Golden Knights farm team without 4 of their top 5 defensemen injured right now in Bakersfield. Here at Rogers Place, the Oilers get 5 goals from defense and beat the Anaheim Ducks 7-4, albeit aided and abetted by 2 empty net goals. This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Zach from EPCOR here. When winter rolls in, my family's outside skating, tobogganing, and enjoying the season. But stormwater ponds aren't the place. These ponds protect our neighborhoods from flooding year-round. Even in winter, the water keeps moving under the surface, making the ice unpredictable and unsafe. Edmonton has safe spots to skate and sled, like my favorite, the Rundle Park Iceway and Toboggan Hills. Stay back, stay off, stay safe. A note from your neighbors at EPCOR.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Let's go to the Smart Play of the Game, brought to you by Cutelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's the smart move for your next meal. Look for the all natural ingredients flag on the box the next time you shop. Tonight, we'll give it to Leon Draisaitl. He had 4 assists, and it was the empty net setup for Connor McDavid where he used the boards and banked it hard so McDavid could skate into it to make it 6-4. Draisaitl won a draw on Matthias Ekholm's 7-4 goal. Draisaitl finished with 4 apples, 7 assists over the course of the last 2 games. Tonight's 3 stars. Brought to you by Molson, the official beer of the Edmonton Oilers, whether it's Canadian Ultra Export XL. There's a Molson with your name on it. You must be of legal drinking age. 3rd star tonight, goal and assist for the Oilers, Zach Hyman. 2nd star tonight, a hat trick, all on the power play for the Anaheim Ducks. That's Michael Granlund. And the 1st star tonight with his first career hat trick. And the Oilers get hat tricks from defense in back-to-back games, Matthias Ekholm. The Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. And the Oilers return to action on Thursday night when they take on Macklin Celebrini and the San Jose Sharks. For my play-by-play partners, Jack Michaels, who called tonight's game, Cam Moon, Rob Brown, Brendan Escott, Aidan Gannam, studio producers Eamon Hashem at the helm tonight, and Kellen Kennedy, ace engineer Troy Bowler. Bob Stoffer saying so long from Rogers Place. The Oilers beat the Ducks 7-4.
Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this exclusive broadcast are brought to you by Ford, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
For Seneca, he's hurried up by Bouchard. Seneca slot pass. Chari says no on Cutter Gauthier. Left and back of the goal, Matthias Ekholm for Bouchard. Not out, held in by Lacombe. Snapped around beautifully. Kreider, Granlund right in, and he scores! Mikhail Granlund on the short side of Tristan Jarry. 16:36 left to go in period 1. Anaheim breaks the ice.
What a bullet from Brandlin, and great execution, Jody, right here. That puck's at least got to be high, right? If you're a defenseman trying to keep that thing in, if it's wobbling, if it's high, it's going to be tougher. If not,
Bouchard. Now McDavid again. Draisaitl in tight. McDavid shouldered down by Husso. Bouchard and Draisaitl work a play here. Awaiting is Nugent Hopkins out in front. Tapped in! In his office. It's a power play goal, and the Oilers have tied it. On Trouba knows what's coming here. He's on the backside of Hyman. He's just waiting to take his stick. He goes for the stick, and Hyman's second whack at that puck.
You know, Tom Wilson tells guys now that as he goes to hit them, he'll say heads up.
yes, never did that for me.
Killorn on the doorstep. He scores. Alex Killorn.
Winning stretch that they're on, and it's just get it to a good area and create pressure. You can see the race is won. That's Paling. But what a play by him. That's a tough angle.
Lacombe with a shot at Headhunter high. Goes by Moore and out. There's McDavid. He's onside. He's in. He's thwarted again. And a penalty will be called. We'll see. Is it a penalty or a penalty shot? It's a penalty shot. Mano a mano on Ville Husso. McDavid will swoop in. Shut down by Husso.
Faced the best power play in the NHL, but take a look at this, Joe.
Yeah, he goes way wide, and Husso there didn't really make a move until Connor McDavid hit the blue line, and then he locked it in right there at the top of his crease. I don't know if Husso was guessing one way, but he found that puck.
Judas has a tough time. It's slung out in front. Reset by the Oilers. Draisaitl. Emberson. Stastny. A tip.
There. I'm not sure what Ville Husso is upset about here.
Yep. Nugent Hopkins gave it away to Alex Killorn. Two-time Cup winner at Tampa Bay coughed it up. Nugent Hopkins walled off it by Paling. Here comes McDavid. Ekholm. Matthias Ekholm was up the tower. Out in front. 7-by-7 second. Ekholm gets the goal. The Oilers have a one-goal lead.
Home the defenseman. He's going to make that play, but he's going to go to the net, and that pushes everything back, and he's just got to
Lacombe in control of it. Paling will step in, stumble. Jailbreak here for Nurse. Nurse right in for a shot. He scores!
Getting blown wide open. It's any mistake you're going to make. And right here, unfortunately, Paling gets a little ahead of himself, and Nurse has got all time and space. He checks his options.
Seneca looks around. The pass outside the line. Here come the Oilers again. It's Ekholm. Right in. He scores! When it rains!
But Ekholm closed so quickly at 6'5" in the read that he had.
One-timer. Seneca rejected by Tristan Jarry. Seneca again. Granlund holding. Shooting one. He scores! Mikhail Granlund.
That hitch right there, waiting for the screen to come across. Perfectly labeled shot.
He has Kreider in front. Lacombe. Seneca won't get a great stick. Wallman. Seneca across. A set. A shot. They score!
And Jarry not happy there. He gets a little twisted up, and look at Granlund. He just waits it out.
Tries to seal the wall. Draisaitl banks it out. Here comes McDavid. Bullseye.
Little turnover. There goes Connor McDavid.
It was a nice bit of poise, too, from Bouchard with bodies.
The Edmonton Oilers coming off their 6-5 overtime win here Saturday night.
Guy who does all the dirty work in the defensive zone. The crowd is shouting, shoot. Look at that.
The 7-game winning streak for Anaheim will end. The Edmonton Oilers get it done tonight. They defeat the Ducks 7-4. Nugent Hopkins gave it away to Alex Killorn. Two-time Cup winner at Tampa Bay coughed it up. Nugent Hopkins walled off it by Paling. Here comes McDavid. Ekholm. Matthias Ekholm was up the tower. Out in front. 7-by-7 second. Ekholm Gets the goal. The Oilers have a 1-goal lead.
As an Edmonton Oiler, he's going to get the puck. Now Paley's going to come off the bench. Look at him. Direct. But Nugent Hopkins is so intelligent. Little chip play to the right man, Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid slides that across and at home the defenseman. He's going to make that play, but he's going to go to the net. And that pushes everything back, and he's just got to deflect that in.
The thinnest of margins on every play. You pointed out the Nugent Hopkins play, the little touch by Ekholm, and once again, there's no time.
Start a breakout. Minchikopoulos pin it back in his own zone. Good forechecking pressure here by the Oilers as it comes out through center. Seneca looks around. The pass outside the line. Here come the Oilers again. It's Ekholm. Right in. He scores! When it rains, it pours!
Any night you don't want to turn the puck over 6 feet inside the blue line, and there Seneca tries to force it. You can see why. At the line change, it's getting wide, and time and space. How about that Chatrooms? Forget the short side. Husso's there. That top corner, far side's wide open.
It should have been a 2-on-1 the other way, but Ekholm closed so quickly at 6'5" in the read that he...
The Edmonton Oilers coming off their 6-5 overtime win here Saturday night. Matthias Ekholm as the Hats cascade down his first career Hattie. The icing on the cake here at Rogers Place.
Guy who does all the dirty work in the defensive zone. The crowd is shouting, shoot. Look at that.
The Edmonton Oilers coming off their 6-5 overtime win here Saturday night. Matthias Ekholm as the Hats cascade down his first career Hattie. The icing on the cake here at Rogers Place.
Guy who does all the dirty work in the defensive zone. The crowd is shouting, shoot. Look at that.
What a game. Killorn now, back out. A shoot in. Anaheim tries to seal the wall. Draisaitl banks it out. Here comes McDavid. Bullseye.
It's not even fair. Connor McDavid is just... if you're on the ice with him, just put it in an area he can skate to with the empty net. Little turnover, there goes Connor McDavid.
There was a nice bit of poise, too, from Bouchard with bodies up.
Start a breakout. Minchikopoulos pin it back in his own zone. Good forechecking pressure here by the Oilers as it comes out through center. Seneca looks around. The pass outside the line. Here come the Oilers again. It's Ekholm. Right in. He scores! When it rains, it pours!
Any night you don't want to turn the puck over 6 feet inside the blue line, and there Seneca tries to force it. You can see why. At the line change, it's getting wide, and time and space. How about that Chatrooms? Forget the short side. Husso's there. That top corner, far side's wide open.
It should have been a 2-on-1 the other way, but Ekholm closed so quickly at 6'5" in the read that he...
In control of it. Paling will step in, stumble. Jailbreak here for Nurse. Nurse right in for a shot. He scores! A short side stinger by Darnell Nurse. 12:26 left to go in the second period.
Getting blown wide open. It's any mistake you're going to make. And right here, unfortunately, Paling gets a little ahead of himself, but Nurse has got all time and space. He checks his options, and he takes his number one, and that's the short side here.
A great job with the eyes, Jody, to sort of keep Husso at bay, but that's twofold. There was the mistake by Paling, but it was the fact Lacombe gave it to him, and he was heading up the ice.
Nugent Hopkins gave it away to Alex Killorn. The two-time Cup winner in Tampa Bay coughed it up. Nugent Hopkins walled off it by Hailing. Here comes McDavid. Ekholm. Matthias Ekholm was up the tower, out in front. 7-by-7 second. Ekholm gets the goal. The Oilers have a one-goal lead.
As an Edmonton Oiler, he's going to get the puck. Now Paley's going to come off the bench. Look at him. Direct. But Nugent Hopkins is so intelligent. Little chip play to the right man, Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid slides out across, and Ekholm, the defenseman. He's going to make that play, but he's going to go to the net. And that pushes everything back, and he's just got to deflect that in.
The thinnest of margins on every play. You pointed out the Nugent Hopkins play, the little touch by Ekholm, and once again, there's no time.
Comes up hard on Nurse. It springs out to Kapanen. Good stick by Zellweger. Wallman angles along the boards. Right along the dasher. Gudas has a tough time. It's slung out in front. Reset by the Oilers. Draisaitl. Emberson. Stastny. A tip. Henry Kapanen was staked out. It might have glanced off Zellweger.
Way out.
Bouchard. Now McDavid again. Draisaitl in tight. McDavid shouldered down by Husso. Bouchard and Draisaitl work a play here. Awaiting is Nugent Hopkins out in front. Tapped in! Sam Raymond in his office. It's a power play goal, and the Oilers have tied it.
Double minor. The top unit gets back. But look at Hyman. He's going to be right on that back post. Everybody knows it. He's just hanging out there. And offensive zone time gives him that luxury to be able to hang there. He gets inside position on Trouba. Trouba knows what's coming here. He's on the stick, and Hyman's second.
As a father myself, I get to see the impact that professional athletes have on children. But what I found really interesting about our time with Ben was the impact that a child had on a team and an organization in the city. And I'm thankful to have gotten to know him.
What did I learn about myself? I learned how much of an appreciation I have for being the head coach of this team, this organization, how much respect I have for our players.
Not to our standard. Yeah, certainly. Not good enough. Excuse my language.
Well, I was going to ask you. I thought you had all the answers, so I was going to ask you.
Are you?
No, I don't know. I don't read your stuff, Spec.